Fam! Monday Night Raw time. Ooh. Yeah, it's like I have been like thinking this the whole time. Cause see, one of the reasons why, and I don't get into it right now. Let's just not even hesitate any further. What Niners GM Lynch and HC Shanahan have done with trading up to the number 3 position has been comprehended by many in a number of different ways. And as way too many lightning bolts thrown at the G child, and I said, that's being overworked way too much. So we're going to go over some of the reasons that played a role in the decision to make that bold move up to number 3 and taking your phone calls tonight for your thoughts on everything. Boy, I love making a point. Oh, God. Hey, did you check out where Trey Lance and Justin Fields, they've actually engineered their workouts, their pro day workouts, doing drills Kyle style. I'm kind of impressed with that. One of them's coming. I really think so. Actually, most writers are backing off on the promise that Mac Jones is coming. We'll see, though. Anyway, let's jump on into this. Patrick Mahomes, Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, Cam Newton, Russell Wilson, or Danger Russ. What all these guys have in common? All of these signal callers were first string quarterbacks on Super Bowl teams. Wentz was injured, but he was quarterback 1 on the Eagles that year. But most importantly, they were all on their rookie contracts during the year their teams made the Super Bowl. And of course, as you know, March 26th, the Niners sent a freight car. I'm talking a whole lot of picks. The number 12 pick, their next 2 first-rounders, and a third-round compensatory selection in 2022 for the number 3 pick this year. Now, given the magnitude of the trade and the amount of Niners, the amount the Niners gave up, many were questioning whether the trade up to presumably grab a QB was worth it for the franchise. But then there's recent history. Now, I don't want to put the doomsday vibe out there, but I'm just saying, you got to take these things seriously. History proves that it could very well pay off for the 49ers. Out of the last 8 Super Bowls, 7 of them have involved a quarterback on a rookie contract. Over recent years, teams have realized that the best way to put together championship rosters is to draft a quarterback to a rookie contract so that money can be allotted to other essential positions like the O-line and defensive line, which we're always whining about anyway. With huge contracts expected huge contract coming up for free agent Fred Warner and Nicky B, and with big money already allocated to George Kittle, 5 years, $75 million. Eric Arm said 5 years, $85 million. And Trent Williams, 6 years, $138 million. And the 49ers need to look at shedding salaries to remain in championship contention. See what I'm going at here? Because here's the thing. There's nothing extraordinary or blaming any particular person. This is the mechanics of keeping your team in contention. The hatred for Jimmy Garoppolo that a lot of people feel being projected onto the 49ers front office probably is not happening. With the trade up to number 3 overall, the 49ers are in prime position to secure that franchise quarterback on that rookie contract, ultimately saving money at a key position that can be allocated elsewhere. The Niners need to capitalize on the current championship window, following a similar route of other successful franchises, could propel them back into the Super Bowl over the next few years. No, they didn't say they hated Jimmy. The Kansas City Chiefs, the most recent case of a quarterback making the Super Bowl while playing under his entry contract, Mahomes, who just made back-to-back Super Bowls. Now, when Mahomes first entered the league, he was not put under the spotlight immediately, but rather played as a backup for Alex Smith for a season before taking over as a starter in 2018. Now, see, this is the blueprint you follow. You don't just throw your starter out to the garbage and bring a rookie in and they did a damn thing. All right, kid, let's go back to that Super Bowl. See, this is stupid. And I've always said that. I don't mind upgrading, but don't give me this. Yeah, bring a rookie in. He can do it. He can't. You don't know nothing about him other than the fact he looked good in college. That's been my beef from the beginning. So we can look for the 49ers to follow the same method as they have remained adamant about keeping incumbent starter Jimmy Garoppolo for the upcoming season. Because I already went through this argument. You know, you probably see me in the Twitter wars. I'll be starting that stuff, and I'll be in it too. But I say, look, man, the way you do this is you go ahead and stay with the guy that you've already had success with, and you bring in the rookie and challenge him. Now, I went too far with challenge because it may be more than just challenging. This may be something to do more with the money involved. While fans have remained hesitant about Garoppolo due to his extensive injury history and questionable play at times, like no other quarterback ever makes any. He could serve as a perfect bridge, though, as he led the Niners to the Super Bowl just 2 years ago before handing the reins to the new kid. Jimmy G's contract has no more guaranteed money and could be a prime trade candidate next offseason to secure more draft capital, while also allowing the cap-stricken Niners to shed salary. I see that's got to be Plan A, actually. But here's a quarterback fallacy, and the thing that's way overworked. I mean, way overworked. In the NFL draft, many teams assume drafting the franchise quarterback will solve their problems immediately, which is why the position is considered the most important in all of football. However, recent quarterback picks have proven that assumption to be unbelievably wrong. In the 2020 draft, NFL draft, Joe Burrow, fabulous quarterback in college. He was lighting people up, man. People's paying to watch this dude even on TV. He was drafted as a plug-and-play starter for the Bengals with the number 1 pick. His season, and pretty much that of the Bengals, was cut short due to the ACL injury that he sustained, and that was stemming from a poor offensive line. It happens a lot. Tua Tagovailoa was taken at number 5 in the 2020 draft, but failed to produce NFL numbers due to a variety of factors like poor offensive line play, poor wide receiver separation, and internal mistakes. Same story in the 2018 NFL draft. Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen were taken as plug-and-play starters with picks number 3 and 10, respectively, but failed to live up to expectations due to the lack of talent surrounding them. This story goes on and on, back down through the years as well. The point is that younger quarterbacks need a stable system in order to function. And with the 49ers retaining many free agents along with having a strong core of players, they are in prime position to provide the quarterback of their choice with that stable system in order to succeed. But he needs to have the skills. He needs to be able to get used to the NFL speed. There are a number of things why he still has his own beast and demons to deal with as he comes into the NFL. And this specific reason made it an easy decision, though, for John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan to pull the trigger on the trade and move up to the nine up spots to pick at number 3. The loss of draft picks is being looked upon. That's why they did it. You don't give up that many draft picks and there it is, and make a guy sit down. Yeah, no, hell, you get your ass whooped otherwise, and the chance is still there. While the loss of first-round picks may sting the 49ers, the impact may not be as significant as initially believed. During the next 2 years, whether Jimmy Garoppolo or another quarterback is under center, the 49er roster should be good enough to propel them into the playoffs, lowering the value of those draft picks. Why? In addition, the 49ers have had much success with their mid-round picks in recent history, suggesting that their eye for talent has been successful in those spots. So when you look at the fact the 49ers are probably going to be, knock on wood, it's all about the injury bug, though. You got to beat that. You can get all the talent in the world, which we proved last year. You could get all the talent in the world. If they go down in a pile, in a heap, it's over. It doesn't matter who's on the team. So, but the guys are good at picking up draft picks. Over the last 4 years, they found C.J. Beathard, Fred Warner in the 3rd round, George Kittle, D.J. Reed, Dre Greenlaw in the 5th round, as well as D.J. Jones and Justin School in the 6th round. And Justin School, there's a couple of guys that are questionable there. And C.J. Beathard is gone, and Justin School is probably still a work in progress. Not sure about him. But all these players have started at least once for the 49ers, with Fred Warner and George Kittle blossoming into all-pro players. Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch's eyes for talent have been proven through their mid-round selections, and with no reason to believe this will stop in ensuing drafts, this will minimize the impact of the loss of any draft picks that the 49ers have given up. So to look at those first 2 picks, oh my God, we gave up all that. He's got to come right in and start from day one. Future implications. The move up to number 3 almost certainly signals quarterback change in 2022 when the 49ers can move on from Jimmy G without any cap penalties. If Garoppolo can rebound from the injury-riddled 2020 campaign and put together a solid 2021 season, his trade value could increase dramatically, leading to a potential trade in 2022 offseason. If Garoppolo either fails to remain healthy for the duration of the season, or if he underperforms and cannot gain any trade action, we can look for the 49ers to probably cut him and move on from his hefty salary. Well, this is the part I like the most. Jimmy G seems to thrive under this kind of condition. Because when you heard about reports coming out of camp in Patriotville, some of the things are being said, even by the guy that was playing on our team, that edge rusher. Yeah. Jimmy G he seems to jump up on this kind of thing, so we're going to see what he does. However, the presumed change at quarterback signifies much more than just a quarterback change. Trading up to the 3rd pick almost certainly takes the 49ers out of the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes. For all those who were just thinking that was going to happen, after you see Deshaun, poor guy, I feel bad for him because it probably is a smear, but public opinion is out there now, and people are going to believe what they want to believe, and the majority of those probably watching that aren't football fans, they are eating this up, right? So Deshaun has already been smeared to the point now his integrity is shot. He's going to be tough for him to leave. Even the Texans aren't saying a word, which is really bizarre. And why aren't they making any comments? They're not even saying that we're monitoring the situation or anything like that. They're not saying a damn thing. Why? Because they probably orchestrated that. But that's, that raises another question, though, for the 49ers. Will they extend Fred Warner? The rumors regarding Watson occasionally involve Warner given his upcoming contract extension and the hefty price that will come with it. And we saw those, too. We even see Nick's name thrown in there. The extra cap space that is most likely preserved with the quarterback switch could be used to extend Warner or both. And I'm not even sure if we can still afford both. 49ers may dangle one of those guys, which is a real scary thought because we've become attached to winners like that. No matter what your feeling is, you don't like those key pieces that always initiated success to all of a sudden be talked about as far as leaving. However, with the amount of money tied up in the defensive line and D Ford and Eric Armstead, the Niners may be reluctant to allocate even more money to both Bosa and Warner. See, this is another one of those reality checks that we're going to have to deal with at some point, unless Parag's got more magic than we even knew he had. They followed the same agenda last year when choosing to extend Armstead over DeForest Buckner, and instead ship Buck to the Indianapolis Colts for the number 13 pick in the 2020 NFL Draft as we sat back and watched in horror. No, they didn't. I'm awake. They did, So along with the cap implications, the presumed change at quarterback also stresses the importance of hitting draft picks over the next few years to fill in rotational holes that could open up as a result of players hitting the open market, which is going to happen to us. This is what happens when you start to win. See, we're looking at the Jimmy G. The people that hate Jimmy are delighted to see him make his exit. But we're going to be watching some of everybody's favorites leave in the next 2 or 3 years. As long as we remain in contention, that's going to be the case because they're going to need to get paid, and we're going to need to retool at some point. So we were able to re-sign free agents like Jason Verrett. K1 is back, DJ Jones, Kwaski T. They've all got one-year deals. And that may be a limited thing to do in the future due to the expanded cap. We'll see, right? Because you always say we'll see because you don't want to see everybody leave. Such a mass exodus could really be, that could be tough. So therefore, it is extremely important for them to have solid draft classes to supplement their talent in order to keep their Super Bowl hopes alive. There are things that could go wrong, though. Shanahan and John Lynch futures as the head coach of the 49ers front office are likely dependent on that 3rd pick of the draft. They fail with this pick, and they're sticking themselves out on a limb on this. That's why they went to Jed and said, look, we ain't stupid. we're going to go ahead and keep Jimmy, but we're going to go ahead and get our guy now for the future. Is that okay with you, Jed? And, of course, Jed, he signed off on it, right? But given that bold move to trade 3 first-round picks, the pressure still is on. They got hit on this pick, though, especially with such a highly regarded quarterback class as we're seeing right now. In addition, if the pick turns out to be a miss, hey, Deshaun Kaiser was the shiznit back in the day a few years ago. Lynch was over there, as I said, whining and dining his family, talking to him. See, he looked like he was coming in, right? And so do Fields, and so do Lance. So, the 49ers could be forced to hit the reset button as many of the younger and aging players are set for the high-price extensions, as I mentioned a minute ago, which the Niners may not want to pay if they are not in championship contention. Oh, God. Hey, you know what? I don't even want to go through all this doom and gloom. But anyway, after trading for the 49ers without a first-round pick for the next 2 years, throwing away their chances at drafting cheap talent in the first round to fill a roster is a risk. So they also lose their third-round compensatory pick, which could have significant implications, as the 49ers have previously hit on their mid-round picks in the past years. They should just continue to do so. Fam, you know what? There's really there's a lot of things to be worried about with what's going on this year. Because you know what? When we sucked and we went into our first year, coming out of the Suckville, it was fun, wasn't it? Now it gets down to business. So now I might have to join the haters in one regard. Try not to get too attached as the 49ers roll on. Because if they win and they keep winning, we're okay, right? So I'm not going to go to the link to something. It's name on the front, not the back. No. You know what? You know why? Because first of all, the reason why I enjoy this game is because I do enjoy the players on the team. So that's why that's never going to stop. So, but fam, I want to get your feeling on this tonight. As far as the doom and gloom prospect, as the risk involved in doing this and why it better work, it better not fail. What are the options, alternatives if this does not happen? What do you look forward to happening if that be the case? Pete Gorman, hey, sup? I still think Jimmy B's our quarterback this year, no matter who they draft. As long as Jimmy is healthy and we are winning, no way they can bench him for a rookie. The rookie's gonna have a lot of trouble getting past Jimmy, no matter what anybody says. Sid, it's going on, Sid. Sid said, hey, I'll probably be asleep by the time the show starts. I said, we got to start early. We got to start a little late tonight. Ray Jr., what's up? Anytime we talk about Jimmy, the haters will say the same thing. So be prepared, because here we go. Yeah, I know. John Hayes, let me holler at you. Hey, what's up, John? Badass said, hey, Rob, shout out from Bend, Oregon. Hey, they're surrounded by them Seahawks, boy. Rod Bowes, what's up? Please tell me we didn't do this for Mac Jones. See, there's another. The risk involved, from what I'm just thinking now, it could be Mac just because Kyle's going to go with the guy that he knows he can deal with. He is going into uncharted areas with the two guys you're thinking about. 668 said, with the third pick in the 2021 draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Kyle Pitts, Florida. Oh, man, him and Jamar Chase, I'll be losing it. TJ Malone, let us begin the era of Black Zeus. To be honest, I'll be happy with either Lance or Fields at 3. Dual threat quarterbacks win Super Bowls in the Shanny offense. Steve Young, John Elway, are my proof. And somewhat truth to that. And we put on the ears and say, chill, Phil, come on in, man. Let's talk about this drama that is unfolding right before our very eyes. Woo! My God.
Well, I mean, first of all, I'd like to tell everybody, just when you start talking about the cap and you don't know what you're talking about, just shut the hell up. Because the Niners are going to have plenty of money to sign Fred Warner and Nick Bosa, and they're going to have plenty of money to sign anybody that they really want.
So that's been the
case. Everybody thought they couldn't sign all the guys they signed this year.
Amen.
And they make it happen. So don't worry about the cap. Assume that the Niners are going to have the money, and they're going to get it done. Because in 2023, the cap's going to balloon because that's when the new TV contract comes in. So people got to understand. And then next year, we've got plenty of money because Trent Williams hit is only $14 million. It goes up big in 2023. So, and the Niners know what the cap's going to be in the future. So, providing we have people in the stands, we're going to be fine.
Get that right. Phil, let me ask you this question. Let's say Jimmy goes buck wild this year because he's pissed off because the 49ers actually didn't have faith in him, or he may think that. I don't think he thinks that way. But let's say Jimmy comes in to put on a show, holds a clinic this year on what he can do with the talent he has now, and we do get to the Super Bowl or deep in the playoffs and maybe lose dramatically, but or win, right? Do you see the 49ers say, okay, we're going to trade him? I really find that far-fetched. Don't you say run it back again, that rookie will be fine right where he is?
We don't have to get rid of Jimmy next year financially. We still got cap space. We've got plenty of cap space.
And he's been paid all his guaranteed cash. Exactly.
So, I mean, the bottom line, if he wins the Super Bowl and Kyle thinks he can win with the rookie, then his trade value is much better. They're probably going to trade him and go with the rookie. It depends upon how Kyle feels about
the rookie.
The rookie, exactly, and whether he shifts over or not. So, I ain't worried about it. I think this is the best situation for us. And if Jimmy goes wild, it's a win-win. If he doesn't, if he gets hurt, then we put the rookie in and let him go.
Yeah.
So, that's just the way we've got it. So
that's football.
My take is, we've got some situations where I think we need to draft a corner in our second pick. Third pick, I'd go wide receiver. Fourth pick, I would go, you got to get an offensive lineman, guard center. And then your fifth rounds, I'd go a running back, another corner, and I just don't know what to do with the other fifth pick and the sixth and the seventh. You just go with the best available. But, those are the players that I think we need to fill some gaps in our lineup. But we've got plenty of money because when we sign all these rookies, right, we're going to be cutting guys because our roster is already full.
Yeah.
So we've got to cut guys to make space for the rookies. And there's guys like Sean Coleman that's making $1 million plus on the cap, who's probably going to get cut because we've got School and other guys to fill those backup roles. We're going to have some money there, so it's not a big deal. We're going to have plenty of money. We're going to have money rolling over to next year, and then the cap's going to go up to about $200 million, and so we'll have tons of money, and that's even with Jimmy on the lineup. So.
Yeah, so it's not entertaining, but you figure from a business point, this is like the model that people usually go by, and Belichick he lives by this. So it's interesting to see right now as this program forms, what's going to happen next. Because like you say, Phil, it was doom and gloom before this all started. Get rid of Jimmy so we can sign Williams and everybody else, and look what they did. See, that's why I said, people chill out. They know what they're doing.
Well, I'm in the ABJ club. Anybody but Jones.
Everybody is.
I would like to see Trey Lance and work with him. He's young. He played under center. And, and if Kyle likes him, he's going to go to his pro day and see what happens. But, I think we should swing for the fences, either Fields or Lance, and go from there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Lance, though. Just from what you just said, he's got an edge, and Kyle doesn't want to bust ass trying to train this kid and get him started from the fundamentals. If you didn't play under center, it is not a good thing for Kyle. Good stuff, Phil. I'm gonna go, and I'm looking for you on Wednesday.
Okay.
All right, Phil. Appreciate you, fam. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. And the recovery says. Of the Recovery 716, thanks, Recovery. He says, Ronbo, Lance and Fields are running Kyle's plays. Yeah, I know, I was just talking about that. During the second pro days, I believe we're getting one of them. Yeah, I do too. Lance, I can't see. I'm not Lance, but Jones now. Let's go. No mac with my cheese. Dre from SF.
What up, Ronbo?
I left my heart in San Francisco. Dre, Dre, what is your feeling on this? Suddenly we're under the spotlight. Starting now, actually, from the draft on into this time next year, certain things have to happen correctly, Dre. If something should go wrong, if we have the same kind of disaster with the injuries, if Jimmy goes down and the rookie's not ready to roll, if George Kittle, Mostert, and the guys that go down every year can't put in a substantial amount of time, everything that we think of positive is moot. Dre, give me some on this matter.
If everything just happened the way you say, if we can keep it in-house, we have a whole bunch of first-round picks. But other than
49ers are picking number 1 this year in the draft. No, man. I said, woo, God.
No, I feel this is the Mac Jones thing was a smokescreen because if you think about it, these two is running this scheme, this playbook in a way, and on this one they asked for Trey Lance and they asked for Justin Fields to be. They meeting with them privately to see them work out.
They've already scheduled that?
Bill Belichick won't be able to be president in this one. So go to the parking lot, sir. So
trade
basically,
up,
that's where my
up.
take is. Yeah, that's where my take is on it. He's going to feel like he can't take either one of those. So I honestly feel that he is going to give up that 15th pick for Jimmy, and if not this year, he's going to have to give up more next year. So it's going to be done. That's just my opinion, but I don't think they should trade him because young quarterback like Fields or Trey Lance, they're going to need time to sit down and learn Kyle's playbook indefinitely. And I feel that all the players that Kyle and them see that they need back next year, if this situation pans out, if not, Jed York, he'll fire you in the middle of the year. You don't care.
Dre, you know what? He's always waited till the end of the year, though, so far, right? Yeah. Jed?
No, well, he fired John Harbaugh, but he was under, he was
a lame duck. He was a lame duck, though, because Trent Baalke, remember that year? Trent had already went out and tried to trade Harbaugh he tried to trade him to the Cleveland Browns for...
I never knew that.
Yeah. What's the wide receiver's name that was kicking ass and everybody wanted him in Cleveland? The one who can't stop smoking dope. Anyway. Anyway. Josh Gordon. It was a Josh Gordon deal. And I remember that year, I had to laugh. Damn. Okay, no, man. I got to have Harbaugh, man. Stop it, Trent. And then Trent Baalke later denied it. But, yeah, he tried to trade Harbs to the Browns for Flash.
I was so angry when Jim left. I stopped watching because I knew it was going downhill from there. I just quit watching for a whole 2 years. Whoa. And I knew what it was. It was this whole 2 years. I was nowhere around looking at the Niners, nothing. I was pissed off. I really was. I really was.
Oh.
But I honestly feel that this year they gonna hit because it got to be these two because they didn't do this with Mac Jones. They didn't ask for his private workout and everything.
Dre, be scared.
They didn't
be scared for that reason.
Yeah,
they did that with Nick. They talked to Quinnen. They with Josh. They briefly met with Nick, I think, but they was going crazy with Josh. Remember, he was ordering a salad at IHOP, made everybody mad. Quinnen Williams. Josh came in. But where's Nick?
It was a bunch jumping off that year, though. Yeah. It was a bunch jumping off that year. They did have Nick come into the facility, though. I heard something about that. They privately hit him at the facility. It was just a bunch jumping off like it is now. But I feel like I go with my gut feeling, and I pray my gut don't lead me down the string. Not this time. It got to be one of these two dudes. John and Kyle, they can't lose their job with Mac Jones. That's gonna go down in history, Ronbo.
But Dre,
Like Kyle will never be able to show his face in a team as a head anything.
but what if, Dre, we're not actually right about the Jones boy? What if he goes wherever he goes? Belichick, I got a feeling. What if he goes to Belichick and Belichick turns him into the next Tom Brady?
More power to Bill Belichick. I don't want him on my team. Look at Bill Belichick now. Listen to me. It's only one Tom Brady, and Tom Brady, he's a blessed man.
Yeah.
God blessed him with the right cereal when he was a little kid. I ain't never
Kellogg's
seen nobody play it
cornflakes.
till they was almost 62 years old. That man, he is almost a senior citizen, and he's still out there going. So
You see
ain't
Brady
everybody
pension.
Tom Brady.
You know, God. You're right.
But,
You're right.
but
I went too far with Brady.
I know
But
you
what
got to
if
go.
No, I was just thinking, it's
Oh.
going to be interesting to see what happens to Jones. But you're right. We're going to go, hey, let me see Wednesday, fam. Be looking for you.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I'll be here.
All right, Dre. Have a
All right,
good night,
everybody.
fam.
Stay safe, stay blessed. All right,
Yeah.
you too. Bye-bye.
Hey, John.
Ronbo.
God, man. Shucks, man. We're sitting here looking at some of the other variables involved in the Jimmy G thing. Because I'm very sensitive about Jimmy, as people know. And when people start throwing lightning bolts at him and everything, I'd be standing up there, man. I'd be bringing out my Captain America shield, guarding him up, because I said, everybody, Jimmy sucks. That's what I'm getting at. No, this is more of an entangled situation. 49ers are doing what they should do. You save money if you can get a rookie involved in the situation where you've got a Super Bowl team and you can keep going and going and going, unless it's a Tom Brady or an Aaron Rodgers, a Drew Brees, and it may not be over yet. If Jimmy goes buck wild this year and shows Shanahan he's the man, he may still hold on to that spot. But that's neither here nor there for right now. But when you look at all the situations, your thoughts on this matter as far as the 49ers pre-planning the future?
It's actually a smart idea because I've had conversations for years about, teams like we're seeing it. New England, Tom Brady left, that team is different offensively without him. Cam Newton is never going to be at the level of Tom Brady. So for the 49ers, they have done something very smart, at the same time very stupid. But if the risk is great with the reward, because you just said it, what if Jimmy Garoppolo has an outstanding year, and now this year is 17 games, so it's going to be really good to see how durable he can be on a 17-game schedule. Many people say it's just one extra game. No, you have to plan an extra week for another game. And if Garoppolo can play 17 games after coming off of two
injuries,
high ankle sprains, and he's able to do that in 17, that's a victory for him. And at the same time, it's a victory for the organization. So for me, it's really smart. I personally feel if Garoppolo can make it through 17 games, I don't really care about the record. I do want a winning record, but if he has a winning record and goes through 17 games, he's shown the NFL that, all right, this guy, he's good. He wins when he's healthy. And whoever they draft, basically Justin Fields or Trey Lance are the two quarterbacks at that spot. Because if Zach Wilson is gone, those are the two quarterbacks. Kyle Shanahan said this: I don't care if my quarterback runs for like 50, 60 yards a game and maybe a rushing touchdown, but he made it clear he does not sacrifice accuracy. So, like I said, the best quarterbacks, the best quarterbacks are the ones who are able to know how to maneuver in that pocket. For many people who've never played quarterback, there's what they call the pocket, and many people think a quarterback is supposed to stay still.
Yeah.
Even non-mobile quarterbacks like Kirk Cousins, Joe Flacco, two examples, they're still able to run. They're still able to move. And when I see Mac Jones, I have never seen him in his tape or highlights where he has enough time for him to get the ball out there. We have to see how he does when he's forced to move around. That's the reason. That's the only concern I have for him. I'm not saying his arm talent is garbage, but at the end of the day, it's always good to get a quarterback for the future because Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be 30. We don't know how many more years he's going to be playing. So if you're drafting a quarterback, and Kyle Shanahan knows how to develop quarterbacks. Matt Schaub, before Matt Schaub, he was a nobody. RG3, he had a huge hype. He was able to find a way to, use these guys, whatever their strength was. Look what he did with Matt Ryan when he was in Atlanta. He used the strengths.
MVP.
Unfortunately, here in San Francisco, he's not been able to do that like those other quarterbacks. So for me, it's always good to have a good quarterback. Plus, John Lynch said, when Jimmy Garoppolo is not playing, the 49ers 7-27.
Yeah.
Basically, this quarterback is not coming in to be the savior. He's coming in to learn, to get better, and then one day take over. Plain and simple.
Or at least give it a shot. Because if he comes in and he sucks for whatever reason, and all these quarterbacks in the first round, they are notorious for sucking. So, that possibility is still there, unfortunately. But if he comes in and he shines, we're going to save a boatload of money. And like we just said, if Jimmy G goes and tears up, we don't ask for 2 first-round picks. We go to Deshaun Watson type thing. We ask 3. Give me 3 first-round picks for a Super Bowl winner and proven that he owns this league these days. So, then he picks, like you said, it's a win-win for both him, us, and Jimmy.
And then I was listening to Jim Trotter, and he was talking about, going back at least to 2014. Blake Bortles was praised as the next star quarterback. Blake Bortles, I don't know if he's still in the league, and then Johnny Manziel. Those were the 2 quarterbacks.
I think he's back up in the first round, right?
Yeah. Then in 2015, Jameis Winston, very high, covered. He won a national championship game. He was a decent quarterback, but he never lived up to the hype. Same thing with Marcus Mariota. Those were the 2 quarterbacks. Trevor Siemian, his 7th-round pick, was a decent quarterback drafted in the 7th round. And then, of course, 2016, Jared Goff and Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, people forget, he had an injury. He missed half the year, and he still went number 2. And then Jared Goff, was, pretty good at Cal, but, Cal sucked at that time. And then you go to 2017, everyone said Mel Kiper, Mitchell Trubisky is better than Deshaun Watson. Shows you how Kiper is so stupid.
Yeah, I was just saying.
Deshaun Watson,
tell you. John, I didn't even get a chance to warn him. Oh, okay. John, we're going to run out of time. You're making great points, and this is what I've been talking about the whole time. You need to wait a minute on these guys coming out of school. They're not guaranteed to be studs. They're going to come in and show you. But anyway, way to go. Because your favorite guy is standing by, along with a couple others. So we're going to go ahead. We'll see you Wednesday.
All right, Ronbo, I'll see you Wednesday. Thanks for having me on always. Remember, subscribe, like this guy stuff. And just like your boy Norm, Niners all day.
Norm loves that. John, I'll be looking for you Wednesday. Night, fam. And we go to Waruna. Waruna.
Hi, Ronbo. How are you?
I feel great. I feel like I always just sort of bookmark where you left off. Because you're always making very good points.
Thank you.
You want to run with today's subject, or you want to continue where you left off? It's up to you.
No.
If you remember where you left
let's
off.
continue today's subject.
Right.
I mean, first I want to say the point that Phil made. It's a great point. 49ers have money. 49ers have cap space. They are smart. So we don't have to worry on that.
Add to that, we have one of the most incredibly gifted people in the office named Parag Marathi.
Yes.
That can actually
Totally agree.
manipulate things to make them work
Yes.
for the 49ers. Like, I bet you nobody else can. But go ahead.
Yes. They are doing a great job. So the thing about Jimmy, what you mentioned, and I think previous caller mentioned about how about if we go 17 games without getting injured and healthy. But the only problem with that is there is always a concern. The if you see Jimmy, he's not he's not the most athletically gifted quarterback, right? So to perform well, he always need to be 100% fit. For example, if you remember the Miami Dolphins game this season, he was benched after the first half.
Yeah.
He threw some interceptions normally that he would never make because he was not 100%. His body was not supporting. So he is not a quarterback like, for example, Brett Favre, who has, even though
Bleeding,
how
bones
yes,
broken,
bleeding,
still play.
broke, still he would still play. He has that talent. That's a naturally gifted talent that you can't develop. That's something you are born with. So that's a problem with
All
Jimmy.
Madden team.
Yes. So that's a problem that I see with Jimmy. He needs to be stay healthy all the time. Otherwise, he's a risk. So in that sense, moving up to number 3, even though it has a real risk, as you mentioned, yes, it's a swing and miss. But if it works, that's good for 49ers. So on that front, we have to just keep the faith that Kyle and John are capable of selecting whoever the quarterback that they think who can succeed in the future. So that's on Jimmy. The other thing would be you talked about Fred Warner. So I hate to see if they do the same thing that they did to DeForest Buckner,
Oh.
because I mean trading away Buckner, that is a really bitter move
Ooh.
for me. I never liked it, and if they do the same thing to Fred Warner, I don't know. It's really hard to digest because
Well, Rooney, we don't have an option. I think the 49ers thought they could deal with losing DeForest Buckner, but there's no option out on the field that's equal to Fred Warner. DeForest Buckner was good, but he was not a Pro Bowler. Fred Warner is. You don't let the Pro Bowler leave. The other option, but that would be Nick, who's also a Pro Bowler, because what is that, 70,000 between two players? That's very scary.
yes, that's true. But Fred Warner is the leader in the
70
pack,
million, should I say? I'm sorry, go ahead.
right? Fred Warner is the leader in this pack, because if you remember last year, there is another point I will quickly mention. Every player, when they were losing the games, Kittle, Debo, Raheem Mostert, everyone was coming to the media conferences and they were saying, "Okay, we are having injuries. It's a bad year. We know we have to improve." They were making, they were not, they were seeing like not making excuses, but at the same time, they were not pointing to the where the real issue is. But Fred Warner, probably after 15th or 16th week game, I can't exactly remember, he came out and said that we cannot do the same thing and expect the good results. Do you remember that? He
Yeah,
said that.
they blame each other. Yeah.
He's basically said that we can't keep repeating the same mistakes and expect to win. We have to change. So he was really hard. He was really hard on the team because he was playing, he was putting his body on the line. He was basically risking his life. Football
Yeah.
is risking your life, your health.
Every play,
Every play,
absolutely.
every play. You are just one play away from getting injured for the rest of your life. But that guy, he has that toughness. He has the heart. He's like the most, I would say, gutsy player on this team. So if you trade him away, I don't know, that's a big injustice.
Well, Rooney, there's going to be riots out of, it really will, because Warner has done nothing to be excused. Well, Rooney, we always
Yes.
run out of time so quickly with you. I'll be back Wednesday looking for you, though. Okay?
Yes,
Good
sure.
stuff. All
Okay.
right.
Thanks for
All right,
having me,
Rooney.
Ronbo. Good
Thank
night.
you, Rooney. Hey, have a great night. Jordan Jones. Thanks, Jordan. He says, I've been working a lot, but no matter what, Amarillo is always with you, Ronbo. We are sitting pretty. God is smiling on us. I refuse to be down. See, it is your Duty, Jordan, as a 49 fan, to never lose hope on this team. Even when we went through those dark, gloomy years, you could see the light in the distance. We were going to get through this. We'll get through all of this. So thanks for that contribution, Amarillo. And hey, Tom.
Ronbo, the king of YouTube sports.
Well, I don't know about all that, but I do like to make noise. Hey, Tom, we're looking too far. You know what, Tom? The best thing to do, and I've always been a firm believer in this, don't look too far into the future in all things in your life, you know? I mean, when you're going to school, of course you do. But, you know, there are some days when you just sit back, put your feet up, have a tuna fish sandwich and your favorite brew, or maybe go for a little happiness, get a pizza with everything on it, even though you know you're going to have to work out immediately after. But the thing is, people need to learn to smile more, relax. Life is too short, Tom. But the 49ers, John and Kyle, need to be careful here with that number 3 pick because it is going to determine, it is a pivotal point for not only the organization, but maybe them too. And our happiness to some degree. So, you know. But Tom, what do you think about what's coming up? The money's involved. As Phil said, stop it with the money. If you're not a capologist, be quiet about that. We're going to sign people. You know, what are you feeling about all this?
I sure as hell know we're not taking a tight end at number 3.
Come on, Tom.
Why do people?
That was part of my fun. I like Kyle Pitts.
I do too, but what if he's a bust? I mean, I know the guy's talent, but he's so hyped.
He is.
Everybody's overhyping him. Can he live up to the hype?
Agreed. That goes for what's the first the quarterback?
Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, Trevor. Yeah, watch Trevor come in and struggle. I'm gonna have to laugh.
Yeah.
I don't wish it on him, but you know these things happen. You're right. It's possible.
I mean, I think Trevor could bust because I'm not an Urban Meyer fan at all. I think he's terrible.
There you go.
And the Jaguars suck. I mean, he could very well bust.
Yeah.
It's not really the quarterback. It's just the situation.
Yes, it's always the case.
And the Jets, Zach Wilson, he's brittle. He's not brittle, but he's already had surgery like we discussed before. He's not really that. He's tall, but he's skinny. So he could very well bust. And they don't really have an offensive line like you said earlier.
Oh,
so,
poor kid.
So the draft can't come soon enough. It's like it's Christmas morning when I was 10.
No, I still remember that too. You're like me, Tom. I'm telling you, man. Daffy Duck, Bugs Bunny, they were on the menu come Friday afternoon. I couldn't even concentrate in school.
But I think that Fields is the pick. I mean, that's what I'm guessing. I'm thinking they're going to go Fields.
I think so. You know what, Trey Lawrence. Would you go with Lawrence?
Trey Lance.
Okay, Trey Lance. You know, here's
Lance?
the thing. Yeah, Lance. I'm sorry, Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, because Lance does have experience under center. Fields.
Yes.
Is another story. I don't know that Shanahan's going to take that seriously because Jimmy didn't either. Coming into the league.
Yeah.
So that's not probably a huge obstacle. So we'll see.
I think he has the highest ceiling. That's the whole thing behind him. He's got accuracy issues, but
everybody talks about that a lot.
I think he's going to be great. He's going to be good, but he's definitely needs a city year. It's just hard to tell. It's a freaking crapshoot getting a QB. But whoever's going to end up on the Niners, it's going to be a way better scenario since we're a good team.
Mm-hmm. You would think. You know, the table set. The offensive line is something that may need a little tweaking, but for the most part, it's a solid offensive line compared to most. So.
If Alex Mack can stay healthy, I hope I just didn't jinx it because we need continuity at the center. That's what killed us all freaking season.
Especially in Kyle's system, yes. We got to draft one too, Tom. One of those picks has got to be a center. If we're talking about cornerbacks and wide receivers and everything else, the center position needs to be get the kid in here now and let him work with Alex.
Yeah.
There's a lot to learn.
Oh, definitely. Where would you pick him up? The third round? We don't even have a third round pick. Sheesh.
No. No, we do. Next. No, we do.
Oh.
We have a third round pick this year. Are we?
Oh,
You know
okay.
what, though? No, we do have it. We keep it this year. It comes up next year.
Oh, next year. Oh, the compensatory pick was next year.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
we got that third round pick. But now that we've talked about it, Tom, it scares me. Maybe we need that center
know,
position
I
taken care of
know.
right in round
I
two.
just-
you know,
I
it's so
just,
people
like,
don't realize how
unleashed the
important that
god.
is. Yeah.
And who's the backup? Garland is still there, right?
Oh, he can't stay on the field. Garland gets hurt badly too. Last year, high ankle sprain. Like it was a plague in our locker room.
yeah.
Everybody had high ankle sprain.
God, don't even get me started on that.
Oh.
Jesus, all the running backs had him. Jimmy had him. God. So I think they need to get I don't know how everyone feels in the chat about the vaccine and all you anti-vaxxers, whatever, just shut up. I think they need to, all the football players need to get the vaccine.
Yes.
So it'll be, so we can have the OTAs, they can have but we are having preseason. I guess 3 games is better than 0.
Hey,
Did
the NFL go ahead and announce? I've been looking for. Okay.
That's what someone told me, and maybe I'm just listening too much.
No, I would like to believe that. Tom,
yeah.
by June, we're going to have 80% of the population vaccinated. That's herd immunity. We're going to be fine. Just keep thinking that way.
Yep.
God. Man, we're going to go. we're going to run out of time here, Tommy. Let me see a Wednesday.
And there's someone said that's going to give you autism. That's the biggest crock of shit I've ever heard. But whatever. Believe what you want.
Oh, God. Jesus. See, that's the kind of things that I deal with. All right, Tommy. Let's see you Wednesday, fam. Have a great night.
All right. I will see you then. Niners, baby. I'll see you then.
Yes. Night, Tommy. And
Later.
Brittany.
How's it going, Ronbo?
Brittany's doing all right. It's doing all right. You know, as long as you look at the end of the future and not take it too seriously, there's a lot to look forward to, and things could go well. Because normally most of us have this tendency to look into the future and think all bad things. So therefore, you prepare yourself. If things go well, it's so much better. But our future is it's got Jimmy involved for now. The upcoming quarterback, can he continue winning? Because if Jimmy goes 14-3 or 15-2 next year, now the pressure on that poor young boy is huge. You know what I mean? So Jimmy we could trade Jimmy off for those 2 first-round picks in spite of the clowns in the chat. They're not giving everybody. Gotta give you first-round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo. Hey, if Jimmy goes 15-2, I got news for you. We will definitely get a first-round pick. So now here comes Trey Lance, Justin Fields. Their knees are knocking as they go on the field. I got to carry on tradition here, man. G got them to 15-2. I got to do 16-1. So, the pressure's on. This is why that trade up was also made, because the clock is ticking on the 49ers' future if you're going to sustain a Super Bowl team. But, Brittany, let me stop. What are your feelings on this matter? And the pressure on John and
First
Kyle.
off, I just want to get this out there. One thing for people who saying Jimmy isn't worth the first round, think again, because he is. Anyways, on the Lance and Field thing, it's going to be tough, because now, just like with Lawrence, the hype for Fields is building up. And if he can't live up to the hype, I'm sorry, but for me, it's hard, because you never really know. I think maybe Lance is probably going to be at 3. He has a ton of potential that Kyle could work with, but at the same time, I still wouldn't know. So, I mean, we can see, but it can benefit for the team in the future.
We're going to have a pool. We're going to run a pool, Brittany. We're going to take numbers here before draft night as to who's in the Lance camp and who's in the Fields camp. I wonder what the numbers are going to look like. We should start doing that.
A lot of people are going to go with Fields, but as I said before, and I'm saying this for the final time, I'm staying neutral on the quarterback thing. As soon as the team moves up to 3, I'm staying neutral because it's a 50-50 gamble. Some could succeed, some could bust. You've seen it in previous years.
Every year.
Mm-hmm. You've seen it in previous years. So I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm going to go on this guy's hype train because once he gets in, he's definitely going to rock it out, because I don't know that for sure. They may have a stellar career in college. I don't know that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then the situation with the money, I think we're fine. The team's fine. Prague is a genius when it comes to the cap.
Mm-hmm.
The whole, oh my God, we got to cut Jimmy so that way we can sign Trent. We can sign we can sign Alex.
We can't sign Trent
so
and
Trent.
JV if we keep Jimmy. You know, see, this is why I stick up for Jimmy. Why is he always the
Me too.
target? Why is he always target? Brittany, remember what we were like before Jimmy arrived in San Francisco? We were the butt cheeks of every
it was
joke.
horrible.
You know, and then he gets here and gave it 2 years. Get him out of here. Run it. Turn, feather him, and put him on the back of a jackass. Roll him out of here. So, you guys go way too far.
I say, honestly, ever since he came here, I think it's jealousy. I really do think it's jealousy. And the thing is, it goes by my stigma of what I said before. First rounds are never a guarantee. Jimmy's not a first rounder. He's a second rounder.
Yeah.
And learning under Belichick and Brady did wonders for him.
Yeah.
It really did.
Teaches you how to be a winner. That's why he wins.
Availability is the number one thing, and I really do feel that that final presser he said, he's very serious, because you didn't see a smile on his face. When I watched that presser, I didn't see a smile most of that video. So I think he's dead serious about working on his durability.
He's training.
And we'll see a difference. Mm-hmm.
He may have called the Rock up and ask a Rock, you know, if we can go to WWE and work with Vince and some of those guys and learn how to take a fall. If I ever see Jimmy Garoppolo in a WWE match, Brittany, I'm going to go unconscious laughing. Oh, Jimmy gets choke slammed. Oh, he gets right up. Go, Jimmy! Oh, look at Jimmy G! You know.
But I think right now the team is pretty good. I'm still, like I said, we don't know. I think it's going to be Lance because of potential. But you never know. Things could change before the draft. We've seen it happen before. They went to 13 last year after they traded Buckner, and then they went up to 14. So we'll see what happens.
I know.
We will see.
It's going to be an adventure that night. I just know it. And Brittany, are you going to survive if Roger Goodell says 49ers select Mac Jones, Alabama? You know, I'll have to laugh.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's kind of thing you laugh, but you don't laugh because I didn't see it coming. Right? It's like you walked out into the street and didn't see the truck coming to the wrong side of the street and knocked you all the way into next week. Right? So what?
Mm-hmm.
Kyle, really? You know, it's strange. But
as
don't be
any
surprised.
other quarterback that Kyle will select at number 3, or if it's not a quarterback, I will stay silent, and whoever gets picked. But let's see if they can bring it. I know everybody's laughing or hating on Jones like they do Jimmy, but if he goes to a different team, not the Niners, and he rocks the house, everybody will be like, my mistake.
I'll have to laugh. But we got to go. I'll see you Wednesday, okay?
Okay, definitely.
Looking forward.
Niners all day.
Yes. Norman's got he's got to put his fingerprints on that. Everybody's doing the Niners all day now. All right, Brett. See you on Twitter.
Yes. See you on Twitter. Night.
Yeah, night. Jordan Jones, thank you. Says, I almost forgot to ask you, if we don't ace this big, do you think Kyle and John will be to blame? Well, yeah. This is their decision, right? So, yeah, they'd have to be held responsible. You know. So, are we going to Steven? What is in here?
What's up, Ronbo?
Oh, man, MC Niner and his girlfriend's been this fur flying. Oh, okay. Hey, Steven, Come on in, man.
Ronbo. Oh, man. So I'm pretty sure we've all seen the tapes of Justin Fields and Trey Lance's second pro day, right?
What'd you think?
Oh, man. What do I think? God damn, Ronbo. Trey Lance, he looks promising. He looks promising. Running those Kyle Shanahan, type plays and stuff. He looks like a promising QB that the Niners could trade back and draft. But the thing is, the one thing that is going to prevent everything from happening, from them jumping back to get Trey Lance, is that FOMO mentality, fear of missing out. We drop back, we let Justin Fields go to whoever wants the number 3, and we pick up Trey Lance. It could go either one way or the other.
But you gotta keep yourself in position to get one or the other. Yeah, and you pick up some more picks.
And we all know Bill Belichick is on our heels watching see who's playing good or not. Because he's that creepy old guy at the concert that's just dogging you. You feel behind your head that he's watching to see who you pick or who you want to pick.
Yeah.
So it's like
Belichick's probably
just
sitting in the room
waiting.
in disguise during the conferences when they're at Santa Clara. Does anybody know who that guy is in the back? I don't remember him being here before. It's Belichick, security. That'd be awesome. Or Pete Carroll. Both of them are, God, they're always in the 49ers business. Well, Pete Carroll's the worst, but Belichick,
He is. One thing I noticed about that pro day, though, is that Justin Fields throws a little high towards the helmet, as where Trey Lance throws directly to the middle part of your pecs, just straight dead into the chest. Every time he throws, it's almost directly to your chest, whether it's about a check down play or a slant. It's always directly in the middle of your heart, and
Steven,
that's a good thing.
What are they saying about Trey Lance? Everybody's saying his accuracy is questionable, right? You're hearing that over and over and over.
Questionable.
Nobody says anything about Fields' accuracy, but they're always talking about Trey.
So, from what I've seen in his games, he does struggle a little bit with accuracy, but what people don't talk about is how every time Justin Fields throws a ball, and he tries to do a big play, it usually sails over the wide receiver's head to where they have to overextend their body to catch it. Granted, they still make the catch, and he still looks good on the highlight reel on the ticker tape, but
made it more difficult.
do you want a QB who can, sail one over you and you have to jump up? Jimmy struggles with that all the time. That's how he got Kittle hurt. That's how, if we're throwing in high traffic, you want that ball to come straight in the middle of you so that way you don't run the risk of being up in the air and taking a blindside hit that knocks you out.
Or throw it low so you just go to the ground with it and protect the receiver. That's true.
So for me, it's like I believe Will said, it's a crapshoot who we ever get. It is who it is, and we're going to have to swallow the pill. It could be we could drop back and get Jones and Lance, or we could stay at number 3 and pick Wilson or Fields. Regardless of what the pick is, it all depends on how they're going to fare well with the 49ers. And if our offensive line can hold well and not get injured during the middle of the season or during the beginning of the season. Granted, we get 3 preseason games, which helps. Yeah. But, it's going to boil down to who is going to be the most durable, who's going to play the best, who knows Kyle Shanahan's playbook the best, who can run it the best. Either way, they're going to be sitting out the first season anyways. But if Jimmy G doesn't get hurt, I feel like, they're probably going to he's probably going to do good considering it's his last season, so he'll probably leave.
Yeah. As long as all the major players stay on the field, you got to have Mostert. You need Kittle. You need for Debo to please stay on the field this year as well. And also Ayuk. All the guys that are even Juice. These guys have all got to stay on the field for that offense to work. And it's not that Jimmy needs perfection. Every team needs their weapons. Every quarterback needs his weapons. I get tired of people saying, conditions have to be perfect for Jimmy. What the hell you talk? Tell me a quarterback that goes out there with a half-assed team and wins. And these are the things. Some of the arguments I hear, I just want to. What are you talking about?
The way I see it is, if a forward lateral was legal in NFL, I'm pretty sure we could start blaming more QBs. But until that happens, it's everyone's fault on the team. There is no I in team. It's the team for a reason.
That's absolutely right. Steven, good stuff, man. Look, can we see you Wednesday?
Yes, I will be here Wednesday, Ronbo.
All right, man. Looking for you later.
All right.
All right. Good night.
Later.
And there he is, the man who has started a new trend. And he will tell you what that is right now. Storm and Norm, come on in here, man. What day is today?
Is it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Is Niners all day. And I appreciate everybody that's been saying that, though. It's, can't even, I've seen a network that, I think there's a platform that has the name Niners All Day. I'm not even a part of that, so I don't even know if I can call that mine. Like, I need to have somebody from whoever is supporting the Niners All Day that I'm not a part of. Holla at me, man, because I'm trying to be a part of that.
Yeah. There you go.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to be a part of this reasoning why the Niners decided to get this number 3 draft, because it's been, how long has it been since we found out they moved up to this rank?
Weeks.
And nobody still has figured it out. Is this the genjutsu that the NFL is in?
Yeah. Sure is.
I don't know. All I know is this. I can think of the only reason that if I was a GM, and I had to really think about this, why, if I was in a position to where if I had a Super Bowl team, right? We went to the Super Bowl. We lost by 6 minutes and however long, how many other points we gave up at the end of that. And then the next season after that, everybody gets dropped. We just dropped like flies, like what happened on that first war on Independence Day.
Yeah.
We dropped like flies on that when they had the shields on us in the NFL. You feel me?
Yeah.
And then we come back the next year, and now that we get into the motherboard. You know what happened in that movie Independence Day, right? When they finally got into the mothership and they planted that virus. I think that's the genjutsu
that
the 49ers have in. It's
Will
the
Smith
virus.
Was saving the world, yeah.
Right, and he goodbye. Never love for you, know. Right, but I don't. And you know what? The question to ask: do they have any idea what's going to happen to them? I don't think nobody in the NFL has an idea what these Niners is going to do this year. Me as a faithful, I'm wearing. This ain't even Niner colors right now. I'm wearing the label
I was
that
ask
pays.
About that, Norm. I was
unfaceable, so please don't try to phase me. I'm wearing the label that pays my bills. Straight up, stop playing with me, bro.
I love it.
But no, the reason I think the reason that these Niners went up for the number 3 draft is so they could solidify their position in this league. You know, to keep their position in this league. You think about it. You know, the Niners had a losing season after losing the Super Bowl. And because all their players got hurt. So a lot of these players. Now, you see Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa's, he back. Jimmy, he got more health than Jimmy G.
In fact, Jimmy should be training with Nick. Yeah. You know?
Like Nick Bosa doing TikTok videos and he making all y'all girlfriends do a silhouette challenge on y'all right now for Nick Bosa. And y'all would be hot if the Niners went all the way to pick up number 3 draft to get an edge rusher to complement Nick Bosa, or a running back,
yeah,
to complement Raheem. That was just as fast as Raheem Mostert, but just as strong as Derrick Henry, who we have to play this year. You ever thought about that? Nobody thought about that, huh?
Oh, and I really wish you wouldn't have reminded me of that either.
What
I
if
really
the
want to
Niners
think about
drafted
that.
up to number 3?
God.
What if the Niners drafted a number 3 pick just to get a cornerback who wouldn't get stiff-armed by Derrick Henry like Josh Norman did? What if nobody's thinking about this because they're so caught in this genjutsu about the quarterback position? What if Mac Jones was in the 2nd round when the Niners got him and we still got this guy? What? Nobody thinks about these things. Yeah. But me, I have to be on drugs because I come on this platform that you have created for us and state my opinion as everyone else who might be on the same dope that they accuse me of being on.
So they know the symptoms.
All I know is that these Niners is setting themselves up to be great and to stay that way. It's a process. When they say brick by brick, it's a foundation. You got to keep that foundation solid. If you can get every superstar you want to, but if your foundation ain't solid, that pretty house that you built, it's gonna fall fast in the first storm that comes along. You see what happened,
or the
to
big
the
bad
Chiefs
wolf
in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That pretty little house that the Chiefs built when they got to the Super Bowl and their foundation crumbled. That's what the Niners ain't finna do. This is why they stepped up to number 3. That is their reasoning. And that's the only reasoning I have to think of. And that's not because I've seen John Lynch's hairline since the last time we've been here.
But you're going to get to that.
Because my hairline looks a little bit like John Lynch's hairline right now. Kind of, a little bit. With the dreads, like this a little bit. But yeah, I got a little John Lynch's hairline right here. You see how my edges
Norm.
Look a little bit like John Lynch's hairline sometimes.
You're always super entertaining. Norm, we're out of time, though. Bring the Norm show back on Wednesday.
I'm going to come back Wednesday for Shirley. Yeah. But that's all I can think of for the show. I have no reasoning, y'all. I don't. But a shout out to everybody who has good reasoning on this show.
But I do have to make one request, Norm. I hope you come back in one show with a John Lynch wig on. That's going to make my day.
That's out. That's out. Shout out to Ramona, though. Shout out to Ramona and everybody else that been giving me love on the show. Like, not Ramona, but he been having good facts, though. He been speaking real facts, though. Straight up.
He always does.
Yeah, straight up.
All right.
And shout out to Sean, too. Right. And everybody else in the Empire. Shout out to Ronbo. I'm out, though.
Thanks, man. Night, Norm.
Peace. Yeah. And it's Niners all day.
There he goes. Hairline and all. Hey, Papa Dragon.
What's up, Ronbo?
Papa Dragon, man. And we're sitting there looking into the under the microscope under what Kyle and John are doing, and they've evolved since they've come to San Francisco. They're not the two greenhorns, Mavericks, or sorry, not greenhorns, but tenderfeet. Tenderfeet, there's two of them, right? They're not the same guys as they were. And now they're a little more cerebral about what they're doing, and they're figuring out the NFL and how things work. And so they're going and they're swinging for the fences. Starting now, which is a little, everybody can use them. Papa Dragon, you've heard everybody, they're too conservative, man. These guys don't really play hardball. Well, you know what? The one thing I like about John and Kyle is they think before they move. They're just going to jump in there and do something crazy. This is not L.A. We do things that make sense and should have dividends that are worth bragging about later, right? So what they're doing now is it makes sense. And you run by it. You got a big plan to do. You run it by Jed. Say, Jed, here's what we're going to do, blah, blah, blah. He signs off on it. So if it fails, at least they have that much of a case to state. And you don't have to hire the guys from the TV series Suits to get you out of being fired because, Jed, you signed off on this. So, it's a fun thing to watch. And that's that goes along with everybody saying, we're getting another quarterback to trade up because Jimmy G sucks. There's more to it than that, and that's why I brought this to the table today. I'm sick of that.
Yeah. Well, you know who sucks worse than Jimmy G? Mike McGlinchey's pass protection. Okay, so if his pass protection didn't suck so bad, I don't think Jimmy G would have either. Another thing too, I think people fail to realize is that we're in the midst of COVID right now, and Jimmy G's a meathead. He's a meathead. He is. Yeah. And a meathead's got to have an off season. He didn't have an off season. He came out here to my hometown in Nashville, threw the rock around.
That's right,
George. It's not the same. Yeah. It's not the same as being out in Santa Clara. As a matter of fact, they were even away from Santa Clara for a whole month. Yep. So I think a lot of people, NFL people especially, they try to move along as if nothing's, everything's everything. But that's just not the way it works. There's just too much stuff going on. So I'll tell you when it all happened. It all happened when Jed York shut down his $5,000 laptop, threw it down in the middle of the parking lot, got in his car and drove away at halftime down a one-way street. John was like, oh, believe we need to get ourselves a quarterback. So I think So first one, I was like, oh, we're going to get Deshaun Watson. We're going to get him. But then Deshaun Watson had to play. Oh, he had to play Uber Eats via massage girls. I'm just saying, people, the dude, you had to have a different massage person
22,
every time.
right? That's almost the entire month of taking the weekends off.
That's what I'm saying.
Bob, I can't believe 22 times, 22 different masseuses. Are you serious? Anyway, that's
once is a mistake, Ronbo. Once is a mistake. Twice you're a fool. I don't know what 22 is. You got to tell me that one. So that was plan A. So that big package of picks that they moved up to 3 for, that was for Deshaun Watson. Flat out. That was for Deshaun
Watson.
Watson.
Been. Yeah, it could have been. Yeah.
So this is legacy time. I mean, he's in the middle of his contract. If people think that if Shanahan blows it, he's gone, they're wrong. Lynch is gone. That's how that's going to work. You're going to fire Lynch.
Oh, because that means a whole new administration, start over from scratch.
Not necessarily. They can move somebody up from scouting and things like that, but they're not getting rid of Shanahan or his daddy. His daddy is the real puppet master in the background. You know, he's watching all the practices. He's giving all the input. You know, he's going to some of these pro days on the down low. I mean,
so.
It is real. It is absolutely real intense right now. And that's why we're all going to see, at least based on my multiple simulations of the draft, you're going to see Mac Jones fall out of the top 10. Because if he doesn't go 3, where else is he going to go? He's not going in the top 10. It's just not going to happen.
You know, Cynthia, the NFL Network that does predictions every week, she doesn't have Mac being drafted in the first round.
I don't have the first round grade on me either, but it's one of those things that this league now, our offensive lines are so bad now. They're so bad that you do have to have a quarterback that can get themselves out of trouble. So again, I don't think that Jimmy G is the overall problem. I think that he is a guy that has to be pushed in multiple areas. He can't be away from the league and get better, or we continue to be better. When he was in New England, he had Belichick, but more importantly, he had Tom Brady. You see what I'm saying? So you're not going to bring a rookie in here and start. So the question I ask for you, pretend that Ronbo is the GM. He is the GM. Okay? You're a GM. Now, here's the deal. You are a floating GM. You can pick whatever situation you want to draft a quarterback. Would you pick Jacksonville? Would you pick New York Jets? Or would you pick the 49ers?
Okay, so you know what I'm going to say. I'm definitely
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. But before you say, well, 49ers, before you do that, you're doing that because you have a team already in place. You don't got to build anything. The chances of failure for picks 1 and 2 are very, very high. That's why if you do more digging, besides what you see in the film, besides the pro days, you got to do more digging. So, there's a story out that Zach Wilson, for example, bought a house in California to prepare for the draft. He has a house in California.
Pop, are you serious?
Okay, I'm just letting you know. I'm dead serious. Okay. He has a house. He's training in California. Number 2, when he chose colleges, he chose the UT where he went because he could go home on the weekends to eat dinner with his family. So those are 2 very, very important factors.
Bob, we're going to run out of time. I'm loving this. I had no idea that the Wilson child had a home in California. But listen, I'm going to ask you. I'm going to mark this down. I got to ask you more about this Wednesday, okay? Because we're out of time now.
All right, brother. All right, Ronbo.
See you later. Pop's fading out as you should. Pop.
Ronbo.
Listen, Tony. Hey, there's Tony. Nagatani. Bosa was held. Tony, thank you for that, and I absolutely agree. Tony, come on in here, man. I love the setting, man.
Aloha, Ronbo.
Tony, hold on. I'm getting pointed out. Production's pointing out. Hold on a second. Steven Hernandez. Steven, thank you. Drafting quarterback is dope, but if we don't fortify that O-line, screwed. We need a decent quarterback who can practice as hard as Mullins, but with better skill. there's an endorsement for Nick. Thanks, Steven. Nick, Tony, come on in, man. As I
How
said,
you
I love
doing,
the setting.
Ronbo?
The well-lit room and everything, and I love it. White walls. Tony, doing great, man. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I just enjoying my first Monday back at work, which is always kind of an annoying thing. But
You are at work right now.
Oh, well. I mean, I work remotely, so
Okay.
I work from this very, very spot. So, but I heard the last caller saying something about Zach Wilson having a home in California.
Yeah.
I heard another story. I was talking to a couple of journalists on the DL, and in addition to Steve Young saying that Zach Wilson to the Jets was basically a done deal, I heard that that he already has an apartment in New York. So I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. That's
See, that's what I've heard.
But
Pop
yeah,
stories new. Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure. I think that Wilson will be drafted by the Jets, or maybe even by Jacksonville if he wanted to pull the old switcheroo. But no, I don't think we're going to come close to getting Wilson. I mean, that would be fun, but I don't think we're going to get there.
Tony, do you prefer? Would you like to have Wilson above if you're not getting Trey Lawrence? I mean, would you rather have Wilson as opposed to Lance or Fields?
I'll be honest with you. I think I'm in the minority here, but no. I would rather see the 49ers draft, either Justin Fields or Trey Lance over Zach Wilson. I know PFF thinks the world of Zach Wilson, and I've seen a lot of that footage of him throwing those cross body deep balls, and he's got a really strong arm. I just don't particularly like the level of competition that he played against in college, and I don't like the fact that he put up those crazy good numbers and looked great behind an offensive line that was also just ridiculously good. So playing in an inferior conference with an offensive line that was also, outpacing its competition. I just think he's too much of there. I don't know. I think he could be the next Sam Darnold, because a lot of the same things that people were saying about Zach Wilson they said about Sam Darnold before. And I've also I have a little bit of hesitancy regarding his shoulder surgery. I know that his motion is a little awkward and weird because of that. And again, he's playing behind that offensive line, and if he gets hit a whole bunch in the NFL, who knows what's going to happen. And honestly, I worry about him being a culture fit in the Bay Area too, for a lot of reasons. So there's a lot of reasons that give me Zach Wilson some pause. And I'm not saying he's not talented, but I would much rather have Fields, or honestly, I really do want Lance. Lance is the guy that I would like.
All right. Because, Tony, by the way, how long ago did Wilson have that surgery?
I think it was his sophomore year, so it's been a couple of years, and he retooled his throwing motion. I mean, the arm strength is there, and it certainly showed up in the pro day. The off-platform throws, as PFF likes to talk about, they are definitely there. But like when he makes those, I feel like he's more prone to falling back on his athletic ability, because he's always had that. And I just don't want to try. You know what? There are reasons why I don't really want to trust him, but at the same time, I looking at that level of competition that he faced, I just don't. And that being said, Robert, I wish Robert Saleh all the good luck in the world.
All right, we forgot about that. Yeah, we got to wish him luck. Yeah, hope he does well.
Yeah, and the other thing is, the Niners traded up to 3 for a reason, right? There's at least 3 quarterbacks out there that they would be comfortable drafting, and I think that the Niners know that the Jets are going to take Wilson, and we're pretty darn sure that Lawrence is going to go number 1 overall. So at 3, the Niners, I think, it's going to be one of those 3 that we keep talking about: Fields or Mac Jones or Trey Lance. And I think also the Niners have their feelers out there. They talked to Robert Saleh. They were talking to Robert Saleh at Zach Wilson's pro day. I mean, Lynch went, so obviously he went to go see him. So I think the Niners know things that we fans don't, and I'm excited. I'm excited for it. So.
Yeah, because I always wonder though, if you're Robert Saleh, and do you actually divulge any sensitive information, Tony? This is the thing that I can't wrap myself around. I'm like, I just got hired by this organization. I need to act like it
Yeah. Well, he's the chess master, right? So I'm sure there's lots of strategic thinking going on in everything that he does. And the only leg up that we have is that because he's in the AFC East and we're in the NFC West, we're only going to face him like once every 4 to 6 years. Yeah, something like that. So we're, the only time we would really face him when it mattered would be in the Super Bowl anyway. So it's not like he needs to keep a whole lot from us. And honestly, he's been with the Niners organization for the past 4 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So we know how he thinks. I mean, I'm sure we're familiar with the way he works, and he has great working relationships with. He took our coaching staff. He took the offensive line coach and the offensive coordinator. So I'm fine with it, quite frankly. I'm all about letting Kyle develop new coaching talent. And so I mean, I'm stoked for D'Amico. And I don't think D'Amico is going to be as good as Robert Saleh, but I'm stoked to see how different the defense looks with a former NFL linebacker in there.
So, and it is asking too much, but we'll see. Hey, Tony, awesome stuff as usual.
Good to talk to you, Ronbo.
We'll look for you Wednesday. All right?
Sounds good, brother. Take care. Aloha.
Aloha. Thanks, Tony. There he goes. Back to work with Tone. Is it okay? And without any further ado, bring him in here, the beast from the East. Forget about it. It's Niner Mike.
You already know. Forget about it. Time, Ronbo. What's going on? How the hell are you tonight, Ronbo?
Oh, Mike, doing fabulous, man. I'm like looking at this situation with our guys, John and Kyle, growing up to be hardcore pro. I mean, these guys are like doing things now that they should. And you're looking at what they're going to do. They went up to number 3. They traded the farm. But Niner Mike, here's something you must have been listening earlier too. What they're doing now, if Deshaun Watson didn't have such an appetite for massages, if it's all true, those 3 picks that they had no problem giving up could be in Houston. You could be right. That may have been the ploy from the beginning.
Oh, definitely, Ronbo. Come on, that was it. Look, first of all, I want to say thanks for having me on here, Ronbo. Because I know normally you got to rush me off at the end.
And we're
so
gonna
I'm just going to say it now at the beginning. I appreciate you for having me on here, Ronbo. You've had a hell of a show so far. Listen, that Storm and Norm guy, hey, funny stuff. That guy right there, he had me laughing over here. I like that guy. So shout out to you out there, Norm. Niners all day for sure. And, listen, one thing I want to say, Ronbo, before I touch on the subject of tonight, all right?
Mm-hmm.
You and a few other people that roll in your circle. Listen, I know you always say you call Jimmy haters and this and that. Listen,
I do.
You guys need to accept something, all right? You lost. You've lost. All you've lost. I had to hear you get on here for weeks. There's no way they're going to trade for another quarterback. There's no way they would want to draft a rookie quarterback. Listen, yeah, there is. And that's exactly what we did. All right. So,
wait. For the record, I knew they were going to draft a quarterback. Mike, I knew they were going to draft a quarterback this year.
But not like
I said
this, Ronbo.
Not in the first round.
Not like this.
I'll admit it. Not in the first round.
You don't give up. Absolutely, Ronbo, and you don't give up 2 first round picks for two further years, all right? And you don't do that to keep a guy sitting around for 2 years plus. So for anyone thinking that Jimmy's going to outlast his contract or live out his contract in a 49ers uniform, I got breaking news for you. It's not going to happen, all right? So just forget about it and
write
deal
that
with
down.
it.
Niner Mike committed to this.
Write
I'm going to save this clip.
Take a picture. What Smokey say, Ronbo, on Friday? Write it down. Take a picture. I don't give a shit. All right, I'm telling you, you heard it here first, Ronbo.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't want to hear none of you. I don't want to hear none of you cry about. Listen, the fact of the matter is this. All right, Shanny and company saw the same thing that the rest of us was seeing that you didn't have the ability to see. And that is, as great of a play designer, play caller as Shanahan is, could you imagine how much it broke his heart to have to turn around and hand the friggin' ball off because he knew, not just because we were running the ball good, but because he knew the quarterback that he he had could potentially lose the game single-handedly, all right? Like he almost did a few times in the playoffs, all right? So at the end of the day, enough was enough with that. They all saw it. You saw the ceiling. It is what it is. You know, hey, if he could have another great year or two over there with Bill Belly, then good luck.
Mike, one question. One question. What if Shanahan, who you say is looking and crying about his quarterback, what if he would have continued to have those swing passes continue to go to Debo in that Super Bowl, Mike? What do you think would have happened?
Absolutely, Rombo. Look, that could.
So
listen,
that's what I'm telling you.
I'm not one of those guys that blames it all on Jimmy, Rombo.
Thank you, because I'm sick
I don't blame
of that.
it all on
sick
Jimmy,
of that.
but I do
Thank you.
blame a majority of it on him. Because I'm not just talking about the obvious, like the overthrow to Sanders and all that. No, I'm talking about the multiple plays that he just missed guys that were wide open to where Shanny's over there on the sideline saying, you know what, I can't freaking draw this shit up any better for you. I can't do any better than that for you. You can't see George Kittle over the freaking middle wide open, the best player arguably on our effort. You can't see that guy out there wide open. What the hell am I supposed to do with that, Rombo? And that's what Shanahan's saying, all right? And so you just got to deal with it, all right? And forget about it. It's okay.
Mike, I don't have to deal with anything.
Now,
we won 13 games with that same sorry quarterback.
Look, I got to get to this point before you kick me off because I know I'm going to run out of time.
I'm close to it now.
All right, listen now. I talked to a guy who's a friend of mine, all right? And he is someone that I really take into consideration when it comes to football and football players because this guy, I mean, he's an over 80% handicap, but this guy moves lines, all right, Ronbo? He knows football players, all right, out there in Vegas, all right? And this guy told me, he hit me up. I haven't talked to him in a while. He hit me up because, you know, we got the third overall pick. And he's saying, hey, he said, so what do you think about the Mac Jones guy? He said, phony macaroni. I said, I don't want that guy. He said, hey, listen to me. He said, do me a favor. He said, go back and look at some of Tom Brady's college film. Not Tom Brady in the Super Bowl or anything like that. He said, go back and look at some of Tom Brady's college film at Michigan. And he said, and tell me what you see. So I did, Rombo. I did. You know, it's a little bit harder because it's a little bit older now. You know, it's not like now where you could just put in a guy's name and the 50 million highlight reels come up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I looked it up, and let me tell you what. Looking at him and doing a little bit of research, I'm just going to say this. I'm not a Mac Jones guy because I really do like Justin Fields, all right? But I'm just going to say this. You know, I made a comment the other night about being highly upset if we were to take Mac Jones. Take it for what it's worth, but I'm not going to be that upset if we do. If we do, we do. I don't want it as my first choice, Rombo. It's not my first choice because I think that not only could Fields do what Mac could do, but I think he could expand it with his legs and with the different parts of the playbook that Kyle could add to what he already has. You know what I mean, Rombo?
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, looking at the Mac kid, it's like Shannon Sharp said about him, Rombo. You really can't find no bad tape on him. And if you look at the way he gets rid of that ball, how decisive he is, I can see why Shanahan loves him so much.
Mike, everybody gives excuses as to why he did so well. I'm through listening to that myself. I want to see something else. I want to know, is he that good or not? Because everybody said, he had the best offensive line in the league.
I'm with you on it,
I agree with that. But I said, wait a minute, I don't know. You know, you still can't be sucked butt to do that. You know, so
and honestly, when you look at it though, too, Rombo, when you look at his tape,
Mike,
a lot of times, even though he's got good guys out there, Rombo, he's not just throwing up prayers that these guys were going up and making all-star catches and things like that. You know what I mean?
Throwing good
was
shots.
Anticipating, timing, and throwing them open. You know what I mean?
agree.
Anyway, all right, Rombo, I'll let you get to the next guy. Forget about it. I appreciate you as always, and I'll talk to you on Wednesday, Rombo.
Looking forward
all right?
to it, Mike. You too, man.
All right, forget about it. All right, Rombo.
Night, Mike. There he goes. Riding off into the sunset. All right. 49ers Ultimate. Niner, Mike, I told Ronbo in February Jimmy G was not going to last his contract, not you. Everybody should take credit for that. You guys all better look out. Don't bet any money on that, and especially your rent money. Hey, Salvador!
Want to tell your mother be there?
What's that? See what it is. Sarah?
Why you mom would be? Because that's part of it.
What's Sal watching? Salvador.
And last, I do.
Denise!
What's up, Ronbo?
Hey, Miss TNT, what's up yourself? I'm sitting here, we're looking at, it's so funny because even though the subject is not directly taking shots at Jimmy, but the shots will still be taken. Denise, I got to tell you, if Jimmy has a spectacular next year, oh, you talk about a dude that's going to be running mofos to death. I'm going to be on social media 24 hours a day. Yo, boy, how you like him now? You're like, oh, my God. See, this is what I'm talking about. People anticipate everything and not worry about the things they should be more concerned about. We already know what Jimmy's capable of, even if you don't know exactly how good that is. But we don't know jack about the kids coming in off this draft. This is the scary thing, and I do not... Oh, I hope whoever comes in off the draft is a stud. But this is where the displacement of emotions is. You know, be cautious about what's coming in due to the history of quarterbacks and wait. But Denise, with that said, how do you think of John Kyle? You know, it's like an evaluation of what they've done so far as leaders of this organization. And how they're going about doing it and all that stuff. And I already know how you feel about John, but go ahead. I mean, Kyle, but go ahead.
Oh, trust me. Now, see, I usually am spot on with Niner Mike, but you know what? I'm sorry, Niner Mike. I've watched that tape, and nope. That's a big no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. People who are saying he is Tom Brady, I'm sorry.
That's got to stop.
No, there's one Tom Brady, and Mac Jones is not going to evolve into Tom Brady. If he does, I will literally do a live video and eat something that I can't stand. I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now, but yeah, if he evolves into Tom Brady, yeah, that's actually not one of my favorites. I'm like, maybe. Oh, you know what? I have one. My daughter eats some Brussels sprouts. I can't stand Brussels sprouts.
Frozen ones or fresh? Don't give me canned ones. I can't take that. But
well, here's what's funny is like I don't mind them like fresh if they're like sautéed with something. You know what I mean?
Onions
like
and
with
garlic.
onion and maybe a little
Bacon.
garlic and you know what I mean? Like something flavored. But I ate one like out of one of those steam bags. Oh God, it was disgusting. It tasted like dirt. Like I felt like I ate a dirt ball. I'm like, dirt ball, gross. No.
Jeez. All right, go ahead. We'll continue with your rant for your football because we can get into food for hours. I love talking food.
But anyways, no, I think they're doing a fine job. I personally, I don't think that I'm with you. Like, I don't think they're moving on from Jimmy because he sucks. I think they're moving on from Jimmy because he can't stay healthy. Like, and everyone can say it's the O-line, whatever. Yes, it is. But I still contend that even mentally, Jimmy has not fully returned to the person he was in 2017. When we got Jimmy, he was a different player, in my opinion. I'm not saying I'm right, wrong, whatever, but that's just the way I look at it.
Everybody says Jimmy's a statue. He is not a statue. Did you see a 2017 statue?
No.
There's some people just throw things in there. That's when I usually get involved with the arguments. You know?
No, and I don't blame him for the Super Bowl either. The Super Bowl was a combined effort. Defense, I think Kyle fucked up. Oh, sorry. Whoops.
Well, he
Take
did.
that word back. Sorry about that.
He did. Kyle did.
I try not to cuss on your show.
The thing is, he should have never went away from Debo. They could not do a thing with Debo.
Exactly.
What are you doing, Kyle? Just let him keep rolling on them. Oh, too late.
Yeah, I agree. But me personally, I do not want, like I said, if I lived closer, I would be with a picket sign. No Mac Jones. But I think it is definitely between, and I'll be honest, originally I was on the Wilson train. I was like, I want Zach Wilson. And now the only thing I don't like about Zach Wilson, now that I've watched more of him, is he's super thin. So I think, well, shit, we're worried about Jimmy G's health. I'm like, this kid takes a good hit, and you know what? He might be down for the count.
He might be one of them thin, wiry kind. He may be tough. Zach's gotten hit before. Well, he got his shoulder separated, though, didn't he? Yeah, well.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I don't know, but like you look at Trey Lance and Justin Fields, they're big boys. Like they're big, they're solid. And I think that part of them, I think Kyle really likes. Like, I think Kyle looks at them and thinks, hey,
these guys can
you
take
know,
a
you
whooping.
look like you can take a hit.
Yeah.
You know, like if Mike McGlinchey falls on his ass, you might be able to stand and take a licking. All right. I might like that, you know, because we all know Mike McGlinchey likes to, you know, sit on the ground more than he likes to block, but that's beside the point.
And you know about Fields playing after having his ribs bashed. So, you know, that's a big feather in his cap. So, yeah.
And FYI, a couple things I found out, which I'm sure other people in the chat know this too, but both of them are very smart. Like Justin Fields, like scored off the roof and like has a 3.9 grade point average all through college. Trey Lance graduated high school early, and he also graduated college early.
Ooh. Well, he probably took a heavy load in college,
intelligent.
but getting out of high school is tough. Getting nerdy, that's really, Now, how do you take a heavy load as a football player, though? That's pretty impressive. That really is, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're both very smart. So neither of them are, you know, stupid, anything like that. So I'm really bummed that they're not gonna. Did you guys hear that they're closed? The pro days that they're doing with Kyle Shanahan's scheme, they're not going to televise them.
Because they didn't want anybody. Shanahan probably requested that. Anyway, Denise, good stuff, Denise. Nobody knew. I didn't know about that. Somebody may have known. I didn't know about that. But anyway, at least we're going to run out of time.
I
we're
found
having
that
too much
out.
fun.
I was bummed. Okay.
Right.
Well, it was great talking to you as always. You have a blessed night, and shout out to everybody in the chat.
Looking forward to hearing from you Wednesday, Denise. Hope you get in here. All right. Hey, Denise.
All right. Talk to you later. All right. Bye-bye.
There she is, that TNT lady. All right. Tommy Huxley. Hey, Tommy! Hey, and Tommy, how's Anna Maria? It's funny, we have a Vikings fan in the chat. Do we really? Jerome is a Viking fan. He says, Jerome, I'm sorry. Your sorry team can't win a single Super Bowl. That's true, isn't it? The Vikings have been tough down through the years, but they can never walk away with the big ticket. And Tony's back, and Tony says, imagine this. 12 personnel. Jimmy under center. Jet sweep handoff to Kittle. Reverse handoff to Trey Lance, who tosses the bomb to Ayuk for a TD. See, this is what I envision this year, since Tom, they do that, and the Saints do that, right? Peyton does that, right? Can you imagine a big guy, especially like Trey Lance, coming in and doing what they do in New Orleans? Making all the Jimmy non-fans, make Jimmy sit down. Hey, Salvador!
All right, Ronbo, I didn't miss you this time. How's it going?
You heard us calling you. You heard about us calling you?
yeah. My bad.
Sal, tonight, man, we're looking at some of the things that, as you know, I'm as a Jimmy fan, I've been sitting around listening. But the reason why they traded up is they're sick of Jimmy. He sucks. We get rid of him, and we go to some real quarterback. So, I'm saying, that to me is a joke. And I know you support getting rid of Jimmy too, but I'm just saying that to me is a joke because we don't know about the kids coming out of school because we've had a number of busts that came out of the first round. Some of the worst busts ever come out of the first round as quarterbacks. You get your better quarterbacks actually every round but the first round. Unless you talk about Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. I don't know. I still don't know what to think of Lamar Jackson as a quarterback, but he is good. He's getting it done. And of course, in Houston, you have the man who's in trouble. But the thing is, that's almost not the norm. So this is what I'm saying. The 49ers are doing this as a business decision. And this is something you need to do. You need to prepare for the future. And it's a big risk coming up, trading up that many assets. It would have been nicer, and I'm sure they would have wished they could have traded less to get that first round pick. But it is what it is, and this is what they're up against in the next year, and we got to wish they do well. But what are you thinking about that situation?
I mean, Ronbo, you got to look at the roster. We have a top 10 quarterback sitting on the bench. His name is Josh Rosen.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
That dude was a top 10 pick.
I know.
So why are we going to – what guarantees us that the top 10 pick we're going to pick in a couple weeks won't turn out to be Josh Rosen? Nothing. He went through 3 coaching staffs, 4 now. Arizona, Miami, Tampa Bay, and San Francisco. He could be damaged goods, but if Kyle can't help him out, I mean,
he becomes CJ.
I don't really want,
yeah.
dude. I don't really want. So this is what I don't want to happen. I do not want to draft a quarterback and get rid of Jimmy. That's not the plan. When they said the plan is to have him, that probably is their plan. They need Jimmy and this backup top tier rookie to be there ready whenever the time is. It's not going to be week 1. It might be week 1, might be week 2, might be week 16.
If Jimmy gets hurt in preseason,
it might be
crazy. Yeah.
Yes, I'm acknowledging the fact that Jimmy G's not going to stay healthy.
I know. But Sal, you know what? This is the thing. Everybody assumes Jimmy's going to get hurt. There is no need to assume that. It was a freak accident last year when he got hurt. By the way,
I know
can't
it was.
blame the offensive line. That play was done. And here comes big head Quentin Williams slamming into Jimmy. What are you? Oh, man.
So, yeah, Robbo, I agree with you. Yeah, Quentin Williams, he beat Lincoln, and then he went low. But not even there. Jimmy's taking a knee, and this other fucking guy, 93 or 95, one of them, he hits Jimmy again while he's taking a knee. No flag on that play.
See.
But yeah, we don't want to talk about that.
Oh, don't get me started, right. Wholesale.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Knocks Jimmy in the
no one wants to talk about
no
that.
flag. Helmet to helmet. No flag. Oh, okay. Vinovich has been paid. So, it's fine. It's over. We'll get back. But go ahead.
Ronbo, with the addition of Alex Mack, they really need a veteran quarterback because you're going to have that veteran presence on the line. That communication with Kilgore and Jimmy G, that took us a long way in 2017. That took us to some wins. So I'm expecting that with Alex Mack and Jimmy G.
And even
I'm
better because
expecting
Alex
them
Mack
to have good communication. Yes.
Knows more.
Yes, he could block
than Kilgore. Yeah. So.
Yeah, but he's going to solidify the line up the middle. He's going to do the checks. He's going to tell which guys to slide which way. He's going to pick up those blitzes, something that we didn't do in the Super Bowl, something that has been getting us killed last year. We got killed up the middle. We're good on the on the off, we're good. We're good on the edges.
Yeah, Weston Richburg missing.
Who
in
do
the
we
Super
have?
Bowl. Weston Richburg missing in the Super
yeah.
Bowl. Nobody cares.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
it's all
yeah.
Jimmy's fault. Yeah.
Yep. Matt Garland, he was solid, but he got tore up in the Super Bowl last year. Broadskill. He's a good guard, but in the center position, he showed. Yeah, he was not a center. So with Alex Mack, that's really going to be a good improvement. So going back to the quarterback before I get out of here, I want to sit the guy, whoever we draft at 3 or 4 or 5, because I always want to trade back. We could get the guy we want. We're throwing up some sort of smoke screen. I really wanted someone to come on here. I really think so, Ronbo, because I really wanted somebody on here, and I might do it myself. I want to look at our last 4 or 5 first-round picks, whoever. I want to see if we attended the pro day. I want to see the history, the pattern that we're doing. You know what I'm saying? I want to look at the mock drafts, what we predicted and what we actually took.
Yep.
I said this a couple times. The only time we knew what we were taking was probably 2017.
Solomon Thomas?
Solomon Thomas. Everybody predicted that one. They predicted Nick Bosa. That was pretty easy.
But people still wanted to argue about that, though. They still wanted Quentin Williams.
Yes. Well, yeah. we definitely needed a defense because it was top heavy on defense. But aside from Kyler Murray, Nick Bosa was the number 1 pick in that draft. We got him at number 2.
We got him too.
Thank you, Jimmy G.
Thank you,
Jimmy G's ACL. Yeah.
Sal, we're gonna go, Sal.
Yeah.
We're out of time.
Yeah,
I'll
for
see you
sure.
Wednesday, okay?
All right, Rob. I'll try to hop back in here.
Looking
You have a
forward.
good night, Rombo.
All right.
Take
Night,
care.
Sal. And well, it's a big show. It's a big show on tonight. Boom. Park it. Gets out the car. Show.
Ronbo, what's up, man? How are you?
Still doing great Monday. You know, you gotta laugh on Mondays to keep from crying. Worst day of the week. Nobody wants to start the week. It's the weekend just left. But Joe, looking at John and Kyle and what they're doing now and some of the reasons surrounded by why they picked number 3. Joe, do you disagree with any of the rhetoric I brought to you tonight?
No, I don't actually.
Yeah?
But before I begin tonight's subject, I want to tell people that look at Niner Mike. All it takes is to go back and watch the film, and your mind will change on Mac Jones. I disagree with him. And without further ado, Ronbo, if I may, I'm going to play a 40-second. I'm going to play a 40-second clip. There's no music or anything of him at his press conference on his pro day, explaining how he understands our offense really quickly. Hang
Mac
on
Jones?
just 1 second. Hang on.
Who is this going to be?
Go to Nick Hamilton. Go ahead, Nick.
Oh.
Good afternoon, Mac. How much do you know, how familiar are you with the 49ers offense and Kyle Shanahan?
Yeah, I've watched their tape and stuff. I've got a chance to watch a lot of, everybody, but 49ers specifically, obviously they run a lot of wide zone. They also have a great fullback so they can run power, and they do a bunch of good play pass off of that. So outside zone, sprint out stuff. Obviously the drop back passing game is really similar to what we did with Sark, and some of their motions that they use. I noticed they got the boomerang motions and the cat motions across the ball fast. So that's all stuff that I'm really familiar with. And obviously it's a super quarterback-friendly offense, and they have great playmakers there. So I'm really looking forward to just learning more about that.
Now, Ronbo, what did you take away from that 40-second clip right there at his press conference?
Mac Jones has been studying pretty hard,
Exactly.
and I wonder why.
Because he's going to be the 3rd overall pick. And break a lot of people's hearts.
There it is. Oops, there it is. Listen, you know what? Because I'm not going to get mad about that.
I'm not going to get mad either. People
Yeah,
just need
I
to
think
prepare
people.
themselves.
Yeah, he sounds like a sharp kid, and Mac Jones.
He's very sharp, and that's exactly what Kyle Shanahan looks for in a quarterback. You have to process information quickly. Yes, having legs is great and everything like that. Even pointed that out in his press conference. But when he was asked about Kirk Cousins in his press conference again, you saw how giddy he was.
He got emotional.
He's not going to back away from that. He's not going to back away from that type of quarterback, whether people want to believe that or not.
So you make a great point too. Good point, because here's his career is on the line here. He's not going to go and like Star Trek guys
redesign his entire offense and his program for somebody who has legs.
Especially with the personnel he's already got. He's taught everybody how to do this. So now I'm going to get a quarterback that's going to bolt and run if he's under pressure, and everybody looks at that as being a plus.
No.
I don't know if that's a big plus. Not with Kyle.
You have to be accurate under pressure, and that's what Mac Jones is. He leads all the quarterbacks in this class with the numbers under pressure. Go look him up for yourselves.
Nice.
You know, and so he's not going to back away from that type of quarterback. I'm sorry to break people's hearts, but I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, but I don't care. But that's Peter King came out and said pretty much that's going to be the pick at number 3. They're just intrigued by Justin Fields and Trey Lance, and are going to their pro days pretty much just to wrap up their quarterback evaluations. And Mike Silver thinks Kyle Shanahan knows already what he wants, and those are the two most connected people in the sports media with the 49ers.
And we keep talking about Chris Sims if he's drunk during his button down broadcast. But Chris Sims, he may be telling the truth.
Yeah, I mean, all it takes is to go look at the tape, and you'll change your mind really quickly. That's what it did to me. Because I was on the Justin Fields bandwagon too for the longest time, and then I went and re-looked at Mac Jones, and I'm my God, his pocket presence his accuracy is unbelievable. I mean, yes, he had two. You can't knock on him for having two 5-star receivers. That's not his fault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He didn't. Nothing was handed to him either at Alabama. He had to work and crawl his way up to the top.
Yeah.
When Tua and Jalen Hurts were there too.
Mm.
So, you know, as far as
the needle with some throws
tonight,
too. I said, man, that's
yeah, he throws in between the numbers. He throws outside the numbers, 20+ yards very accurately. He throws in between tight windows. He makes good decisions, and he doesn't turn the ball over a lot. And that's what Kyle loves in quarterbacks.
Yep.
And unfortunately for Fields, he makes he makes way too many risky decisions under pressure. I mean, yes, granting being a mobile quarterback is great and everything like that, but you risk injuries higher than using your legs and being a pocket passer. Yeah, you have to release that ball really quick, and Justin Fields does. But anyways, as far as the talking points go tonight, there are 3 reasons why we moved up to number 3. Number one, we're going to be cheaper. I don't want to hear the fake DS.
We're going to run out of time.
So,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Really quick. Really quick though. There are 3 reasons why we moved up to the number 3 spot this year. Number 1, we're getting cheaper at quarterback. Number 2, they don't trust Jimmy Garoppolo's health. And number 3, we have a lot of contracts coming up next year that are going to be exploding.
And the year after,
too.
So yeah.
Yeah.
All
and we
those
have to pay Nick and Fred too. So.
And all those points have to be taken seriously too. So, all right.
Yeah.
Good stuff, show. And
all right.
I know you did piss off a bunch of people, so look out when you get to the chat.
All right. Good night, y'all. Take care.
Good night, show. Honestly, it could be exactly like that. Niner by nature. How do you stop Javonte Williams, Mostert, and Fields and run game behind that nasty old line? You don't. That's the beauty of that. Are we going after Javonte? Somebody said Javonte, the 49ers should stay away from Javonte. I read an article about Javonte, and they said to stay away from him. I wonder why. I got to go back and read more about that. And here he is, one of the founding members of TNT. He is Trey from VA. I know why he's here. Show, look out, man. Close the windows and let the dog out the back door. Here comes Trey now. Trey, you got no mic. I can hear you. I always love that part. Trey.
Finally.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
And I do mean finally. I don't. Shout out to you, Ronbo.
Yeah. Back at your fam. Trey, your timing is perfect. I know that you got a mouthful, or should I say an earful, of show throwing out that dogma.
I cannot believe what my ears are hearing me, but this is the beautiful thing about TNT. We don't have to agree with each other. We don't have to agree, but it's still family. So, show you're dead wrong. I've also got a piece of audio to play too. But it's a little bit late for me to be backing up the trash truck. Okay, now let me stop. Now, Mac Jones isn't trash. Okay, let me stop that. I like Mac Jones, but here's the funny thing, Ronbo. Let's just get 2 things out of the way and then we'll move on. I don't want to stay there too long, but just think about it.
Yeah.
What round would Justin Fields drop to if he had 1 DUI? What round do you think he would drop to?
See, between you and I, Trey, that's a very sensitive
matter. No. We're gonna say it real fast. We're not gonna say it. We're just gonna say it. We're not gonna say it.
Okay.
What round would he drop to, Ronbo? One DUI.
I'm gonna stay out of this because you know what? Because boy,
you know where it's going. I'm gonna leave it alone.
No, really,
you know what it is.
It pisses me off.
He would be the biggest troublemaker. He wouldn't be a leader. He couldn't be a franchise quarterback. If you got 2 of them things, I think you got a problem, but we're going to leave it there because he makes great decisions on the football field. Let's talk about getting in and out of traffic, though, Ronbo. Let's talking about avoiding the rush because you can understand this offense. You can watch it on film until the bullets fly on Sunday. This offense deserves and needs a quarterback that can pick up 3rd and 5. What stops Robert Saleh? What beat us week 1? We're more talented than the Arizona Cardinals. We're better than Arizona Cardinals. Jimmy G was healthy week 1. Nick Bosa was healthy week 1. Nick Bosa was almost rendered ineffective against a mobile quarterback, was he not? Am I lying about that? Did he play? Did Nick play week 1 against Kyler Murray? Did he play week 1? Did Nick play?
Oh, Nick. Yeah. Yeah.
Nick Bosa.
Yeah, he played.
Very hard to play against a quarterback that can make something happen. But y'all understand, but, this guy,
Trey,
Justin just can't process information.
Trey,
He can't process it.
Can I just say one thing about that real quick? I promise not to take more than 10 seconds. What happened in the second meeting with the Cardinals, though?
Yes. We won with Nick Mullins. That's why I knew we needed a
What
new
happened to Kyler in that game?
Oh, no, we had a plan for Kyler. We did. We had a plan for him. The problem is that Cliff Kingsbury is a terrible coach, but we don't need to stay there too long. We don't need to stay there too long. They started off hot. Ronbo, what were they, 6-1 or something like that? They were pretty hot, fizzled out. Because you're a bad coach. We're gonna get off that. We're gonna get off that, Ronbo. They said that this guy can't process information. They say Justin can't hit reads, but here's the funny thing. According to PFF, on passes past his first read since 2019, with a minimum of 60 attempts, Zach Wilson is number 2. Guess who's number 1? It's Justin Fields, past his first read. But he can't read the defense. He can't process past his first read. Sometimes people spit things on TV and people regurgitate them and you say them enough and they become fact. But the guy can't get off his first read. Let me tell you something about the Ohio State offense and then we'll be done. The most lazy thing a caller can do that I hate is they say that this school doesn't produce quarterbacks. Case in point, you guys said Justin Herbert couldn't be good because Oregon's never had a good quarterback. Y'all said that. Y'all gave me Mariota, Joy Harrison, and all these other trash guys. It's not about the school. It's about the individual. You can't tell me just because Ohio State had Dwayne Haskins that Justin Fields can't be good. And I'll be honest with you, if we get Lance, I'm cool with that too. But it's not about the school.
Fields is your guy.
Ohio State, yeah. In closing, Ronbo, Ohio State runs an option-based route tree. That means that the receiver has a two-way go. You know why Justin seems like locked on his first read? You know why no quarterback can go to the NFL?
He's got to wait to see what that receiver does. That's why I wouldn't even have that offense. I don't know why they run
hold on, time out. If he's that good, being that hamstrung, imagine when Kyle frees him up. Imagine when Kyle makes the reads 1, 2, 3, go. And then you put that with a little athleticism. We're not out here drafting a quarterback that you can get at 8 or 9 at number 3. And if you believe that, I've got some riverfront property.
I knew you'd have. I was hoping you'd have some swamp area that could be used for commercial use.
Shout out to TNT, Ronbo. I know we got to roll. I know we got to. Shout out to the team. We can talk personally about the draft. This wasn't about Justin Fields. I just wanted to debunk a few lies. We can talk about Trey Lance because this is what we do. We break down film.
Yeah, I know. I'm impressed. No, you're right.
Fields it's not just me, though. This is readily available information, Ronbo. I didn't make up these stats. This is readily available. I promise you that. So, let's talk, though.
Nobody can argue.
I appreciate
those are documented.
No, we're not even going to talk about an argument, Ronbo. We don't want to argue. We just want to talk, But shout out to my partner. Shout out to my team. Shout out to the First Lady of TNT. And shout out to production and you, Ronbo. We appreciate everything that you do. Yeah, you don't get enough credit for it. You don't. Appreciate it, my brother.
And you know, back at you, too.
All right, man.
All right, fam.
Yes,
Talk
sir.
to you later. Come on back Wednesday, Trey. All right. As a matter of fact, where's Trey's protege tonight? I haven't seen. Hey, 503. Hello, out in Oregon. Could that be Bend, Oregon? Hello.
Hey, what's up, man? What's up, Rambo?
Who is this?
This is Nate, man.
Let's say, sounds like you, Nate. Nate.
Yeah.
Nate, you.
The argument is in, man. Mac Jones and Justin Fields and all Niner fans, their hearts are with the mobile quarterback.
Yeah.
I understand it. That's a big thing. The quarterback has to be mobile, and that's going to make life easier, man, on third down to pick up those yards we need. We can work with one of those running quarterbacks, man. Kyle Shanahan can work with them. You know, he still has Jimmy Garoppolo for the next 2 years.
If they really are good. But did you hear that little recording that Big Show just played?
Yeah, I heard the recording. No, I heard it. I know.
That was pretty funny. How come he's sitting around sounding confident that he's on his way to Santa Clara? Didn't he sound confident? It sounds like he'd be totally confused if they didn't pick him up.
No reason to jump that far up, man. No reason to jump. I think Atlanta was going to take him. What do you think?
Well, if they like Matty Ice, yeah, they might. So what the 49ers do is trade down to the Falcons, knowing that they want. Whoa. Well, that could be a possibility, too. And then, of course, their pick would still be number 4, and they pick up some more draft picks. But then again, Atlanta knows. I don't know, Nate. It's pretty complicated there. Neither one can tell you
right now
do.
because right now it's complicated because nobody's want to show their hands and they're the Solomon Thomas thing, man. Let me tell you something about the offense right now, though. We are average at quarterback. We're average at quarterback. We got okay receivers. Nobody that can take it off, at the end. Nobody can run up the field and just catch a touchdown with speed. We don't have that anymore, And
we haven't had
that
it.
really hurt.
We haven't had it for years, and that's why I was always complaining when people were getting all over Garoppolo. And I said, well, look what he's working with. He's got rookies 1 minute. He's got second and third tier guys the next minute. I said, you know what? Give him a stud. I want to see what he looks like.
But
Did
that
you notice,
only
Nate?
fall to that makes it fault to the general management, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
John Lynch.
But remember when he had Manuel Sanders, and all of a sudden you saw a different game coming out of Jimmy? See, this is why I give him a break on some of this. He said he had.
Why did they trade Manuel Sanders? Why? Why did they trade him?
It cost too much money. You know what though? I think they could have afforded him. I don't know why they didn't keep him. They didn't even try to sign him.
They traded Goodwin. They traded Breda, more speed. They traded a lot of speed, man, and that's the issue. They took away a lot of his weapons.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. And then you have general management not picking up that one wide receiver that Seattle took, and we took Debo instead. And why not pick up?
They tried to get OBJ though. Remember, we struck out on that because New York wouldn't deal. And John Lynch doesn't know. New York does not deal with San Francisco. This goes back years ago. The Raiders don't deal with us, not directly. So we miss out on OBJ. So we still don't have a number 1. So we still got to work with whatever we can find. So and we draft every year. We draft wide receivers. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too, man, but I think all the fan base were just tired of that not having a mobile quarterback. Everybody has a mobile quarterback that can run and can throw. You got Arizona. They got rid of their 10th pick, and then they went to get Murray. They got Murray because they seen way more talent in the kid, and they got what they got,
Yeah, but Kingsbury and Murray got history, Russell Wilson's been around, but Russell Wilson is unique, and people thinking that we're going to get a quarterback resembling that are going to be sadly disappointed because Russell Wilson is a pocket quarterback, but he just so happens to have the athleticism to run, and nobody times when to take off better than he does. He is amazing. He is a first ballot Hall of Famer. He really is. Okay, but you look at the other quarterbacks that are running. Okay, where's the success other than Mahomes? And Mahomes is also Russell Wilson, but with even more pocket skill. So you need to be a pocket skill quarterback for Shanahan if you can run okay. But if all you can do is run, Shanahan ain't going to look at you. He doesn't care how well you run.
The only problem I'm having right now is that Justin Fields reminds me a little bit of Vince Young. He does. I'm not lying.
Yeah.
He reminds me of him a little bit because of
what happened
that wide throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah.
That's why Mac Jones. He does sound confident, and Big Show did play that recording, which
he sounds.
I'm telling you right now, that's like he knows the system already. You know what I mean? Like he knows it, and he's ready to be put in right now.
Right. Why don't you relax and wait to
yeah.
see who picks you, right? What is he talking? Why is he rattling off formations and technique and style and everything they do? Mac, where'd you get that from?
Because he's smart, man. He's smart. He's not a regular. No, I'm telling you, dude. We're gonna be looking at this pick for the next 3 years, right? And he's gonna be leading the league in everything we want. He's just not gonna be mobile. He is fast. He's fast on a straight line. Doesn't mean he can't take off.
Yeah.
He can.
But that's not what you're supposed to be doing as a quarterback first, though. Nate, we're gonna run out of time, though. Nate, I'll see you Wednesday. It's always good to hear from you. Nate, you told me we were going to be in. I wasn't going to see you for a while.
I wasn't, man, but I wanted to come in very, very
all right.
like Shinobi. I wanted to be a Shinobi.
Night, Nate. Shay, come on in, Shay. Sorry, Nate. Production cut you off. Hey, Shay.
Yo, what's up, Ronbo?
Shay, man, we're looking. It's funny because the calls in tonight have been, everything always connects on this program. An hour into it, there's always a hilarity. You have Trey countering. Big Show came in here and made everybody mad.
Yeah.
Except for me. I'm not mad because I'm just keeping an open mind on this because people go, man, the anger, if the 49ers pick up Mac Jones, Shay, I know you're going to be hella mad. I mean,
absolutely.
Think about, now, as far as the 49ers go, though, as far as the direction they're taking and the things they're doing, are you impressed at this point after 5 years?
Yeah, I'm impressed. I mean, at the end of the day, the formula that John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan done, listen, we've already went to the Super Bowl. So, you can't argue that, right? I mean, we had a dominant 13-3 season. We had one of the best defense, within the last 10 years. So you can't argue that. You exactly. You can't argue that. So I've been impressed. Yeah, I mean, we've been riddled with injuries. I honestly think
Shay, don't tell me we lost Shay. Or else Shay lost Shay. Didn't charge his phone. Anyway, I'm looking at 49ers Ultimate Report says, real talk, NFL is biased, and it's true. Mac is overhyped because NFL is biased. And Justin Fields, before the trade, the NFL scouts said Justin Fields would drop to San Francisco. And that may not be the case. Shay, you back?
Yo, Ronbo, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Yeah. All right. Continue.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks, 49ers Ultimate Report. Go ahead, Shay.
No, yeah, sorry, Ronbo. What I was saying was, yeah, I mean, I've been happy and I'm grateful for what Kyle and John have done, Ronbo. Absolutely. I think, we went to the Super Bowl. I just honestly think that Jimmy's fortune would be a lot different if he stayed healthy because we would have won more games and we would be in the playoffs, and I don't think we'd be looking for a quarterback. But yeah, Ronbo. I mean, I'm happy. I'm excited to see what happens. But ultimately, I don't think it's Mac Jones that will be the pick. There's a new stat that came out that was pretty interesting regarding all three quarterbacks. So it's funny, Ronbo, because Trey Lance has the most passes under center.
Shay, you're fading. You must be looking at something. You bring the phone or something.
Can you hear me?
Okay, now I can hear you. Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear me better now? Yeah, sorry. So Trey Lance has the most passes under center with 172 passes. Justin Fields has 71, and Mac Jones has 10 passes under center, Ronbo. And the 49ers run under center 70% of the time.
Yeah.
He has 10 passes his entire career.
That's not good.
And the funny thing is, people forget the problem that Matt Ryan and Aaron Rodgers had to learn the system. Remember, Rodgers' second year in the system under Kyle's type system with LaFleur, MVP, right? Same thing with Matt Ryan, MVP. The hardest thing that they said that they had to learn was trusting the offense to hold when they were able to do play action bootlegs and turn their back to the defense.
Mm-hmm.
How are we going to trust Mac Jones to turn his back to defense if he only has 10 passes in play action? That don't make sense. And one thing too. Go ahead. And one last thing before I go, Ronbo. Denise made a beautiful point. She said that the workouts between Fields and Lance are private. Well, guess what? The reason why it's private is because Kyle Shanahan is actually coordinating those offensive plays. When you go to a pro day, it's scripted by the QB coach, right?
Really?
The 49ers are actually looking at Trey Lance and Fields and want them to throw 49ers throws, scheme throws. Obviously, you don't want everybody to see what the 49ers run or practice, But Kyle Shanahan is going to be evaluating these guys because he wants them to see what they look like under the 49ers system. So to me, the only person to not be able to throw 49ers system throws is Mac Jones, simply because he's not doing a one-on-one workout. The facts are in the pudding, man. I'm just being real.
I know, but you know what, Jimmy, his average is. I mean, Jimmy's like over 100 coming out of play action. He also did not come out of Illinois being under center. So you know, it's an interesting
but
thing.
the 49ers didn't draft him though, Ramba. That's completely different. We traded for
that's
Jimmy,
true.
right? After learning 2 years under Brady, right, hoping that he would translate. We didn't draft that guy. We were hoping that, hey, the Patriots this scheme, maybe that would have molded them to trust the play action a little bit more because they run a little bit of that in bootleg screens and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So coming on over, he was already kind of polished or hoping he was polished.
Yeah.
But we didn't draft Jimmy. That's completely different. That's why I don't think it's Mac Jones. Honestly.
It might be, and you could be damn right too. You know, I just don't. I just saying, don't put all your eggs in that basket so you can be blown to bits if Shanahan makes everybody, a lot of people, mad with that wrong pick.
Absolutely. I think it's whoever. But honestly, it's just interesting how the only guys that are doing 49er throws or 49er schematic throws are Lance and Fields. So obviously Kyle's probably evaluating them a little bit harder. So we'll see though, Ronbo. Come draft day. We're still going to be happy, right? We're all 49ers.
Yes, of course. But say, what I worry about with Kyle and John is they are the biggest BSers in the world. Why are they making sure that everybody knows what we know right now about him out there setting up practice and got people running? That's pretty telling, See, that's last time whenever they do this and give a lot of attention to somebody else, they're usually not going that way. Yeah. Maybe that's not the case this time. But I don't trust them anymore when they start.
That's why I think it might be Lance too, though, Romo. The fan favorite is Fields, right? And then the media favorite is Mac Jones. Lance is the only one that's not getting any hype. They're kind of like, they're saying, well, he has no shot, man. The kid just didn't play 1 year, But that's what I'm thinking. If Jimmy stays longer, right? If Jimmy stays longer, the longer we hit to the draft, the more likely it might be Lance because they're going to keep the guy who's the most raw with Jimmy, so Jimmy he can learn under Jimmy. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but just some statistics that I found that are pretty interesting. But all right, Rombo, I know we got to go. Shout out to my TNT guys.
All right, Shay.
Hey, you take it easy, brother.
You too, fam. See you Wednesday. Oh, God. This is going to be funny. We got to wait 2 more weeks before you can start saying things like, oh, what are they going to do? I know the guy got Mac Jones. I don't want any back around him. What do we call it? We've already got a bad nickname for Mac Jones. And McElroy or something like that. Santana.
What's up, Ronbo? How you doing, man?
Sergio Moran, he says my fave is Mac Jones. Hey, Santana, there's going to be 3 camps coming up soon. Which one are you in? Are you in Fields? Are you in Lance?
Oh, yeah.
Are you in the Jones house?
I'm sticking with Justin Fields all the way, man. No, that's the guy that he passes the eye test, Ronbo. That's all you need, man. That's all you need, the eye test, man. So
that's what
like I said, even
you need more than that, actually, Santana. There's some things.
Oh no,
that are going on out there that link, But you know what? I Fields has all the numbers, though. You're right. All the great numbers are in the Fields column.
Yeah.
Truly.
The thing about Mac Jones, man, is just that he ain't a top 10 pick, man. He's just not. He's just not. Talent-wise, he's not. I understand people say that he
just
gets
won
rid
a
of the
national
ball quick and
championship.
stuff like that. He's in a better system than Justin Fields, coaching-wise. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
So,
right quick.
So
Ohio State played. That is the stupidest thing to do.
Yeah, maybe Mac, Justin Fields didn't look that great, but his talent made himself look great in that system. You know what I'm saying?
He's got to get points for that, though.
It wasn't because of the coaching. Yeah, so I'm going with the highest upside. And for me is Justin Fields. If I'm gonna go, if what's his name? John Lynch got him all those picks, man. He's going to take him to the car dealer. Are you going to pick a Prius or are you going to pick up a Corvette? Which one do you want? You're going to go with that. You're gonna go with the Corvette, Ronbo.
In a
You're
heartbeat.
gonna go with the guy
Yeah.
that has the speed, that has the power to throw it downfield or run down the field. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, like you obviously don't want the Prius. It's gonna keep you holding you back. And when you need to drop a bomb downfield, what's his name? Justin Fields can do it. So I mean, and for me, what's going on right now, Rumble, if they're gonna have these private, workouts with Justin Fields and Trey Lance, I feel like it's between those two, and they just want to see both of them to see which one has, to decide which one they want to take to make up their mind. I think Mac Jones is not even in the conversation at all, Rumble, to be honest. Because if that was the case, if you wanted to get Mac Jones, why not just trade your first round to the Minnesota Vikings and just get Kirk Cousins? You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's the big
if that's your guy.
Yeah, I'm thinking somebody freaked him out, and I don't know if they wanted Mac Jones. I don't know how long they've wanted him, but the 49ers just wanted to be sitting in a position they can make the choice they want to make, more than it is about Mac Jones. If they happen to pick Mac Jones, they do, but I think they just wanted to be in a position where they don't have to be sitting behind anybody, other than the Jets.
Yeah. And for me, Romo, real quick, man, they talk about. I feel like they are going to trade Jimmy G. I don't think they're going to keep him. I mean, there's going to be 4 quarterbacks if they draft 4, right? They're going to get rid of one, and they're not going to pay Jimmy G $22 million for him to maybe get injured.
25.
No, that's not smart. Or 25. That's not smart. To keep him and then maybe get injured, I don't think that's a plan. You can sign more players with that or to help out your team. But for me, the most ready guy to play. The most ready guy to play is Justin Fields. He has 2 seasons in college. He's gone to semifinals and competed in playoffs and stuff like that. Mac Jones has only had 1.
That's college.
Yeah, I know
football.
that's college, but
Santana,
I know that's college football.
That's the scary thing. You got to find out, is he really a pro? That's why you run him in there and he's under that kind of pressure. It's not going to be as easy as you think.
Yeah, no, I understand, but Justin Fields has been through all competitions throughout his entire since he was in high school, and he's made it this far, and that says a lot, Ron.
No doubt about it.
And he's been in the top. He's been in the top for the longest time, Rombo.
Nobody's going to argue about his talent, but the
that
only
ain't
thing
hard.
is,
that's hard to do.
Yes, absolutely. The dude is a badass. But what the thing is, pros is another story. Jimmy needs to stay there.
I agree with you.
Let him come in and take Jimmy's butt and put it on the bench. But don't assume anything too quickly. That's the thing. So
that's true.
And
I agree with you.
49ers are probably thinking that way too. They might not be.
And one more thing, Rumble.
Real quick.
I read something. Mac Jones percentage. Hold on, real quick. Let me say it real quick right here, Rumble. It says percentage of pass yards via yak, 53% for Mac Jones.
That's Mac Jones. Well,
yes.
That was their offense.
And Justin Fields with 33, man.
Yeah.
So come on, man. That's a big percentage right there, Ronbo.
Yeah. It depends on the offense. Sarkisian was running a pro-style offense, was just killing people. So, that's what that's about. We have the same thing with Kyle. So, all right, man. Hey, Santana, we'll be back Wednesday.
Talk to you later, man.
All right.
All right, man. Have a good one, man.
You too.
Later.
Emilio.
What's happening?
Emilio, man, we are now giving credit now to the Shanahan Lynch duo, the brilliant businessmen they appear to be right now, and coaches at the same time. And we're looking at the situation we're in with the 49ers. The hatred people think that Lynch and Shanahan have for Jimmy G, which was always a science fiction note on mine, because if they hated him that bad, they would have got rid of him way before now, right? But anyway, the 49ers are preparing for the future, not to be confused with hating on Jimmy. And so I was delighted to read what I read. I said, see, that makes more sense than anything, So what they're doing is planning for the future. We got we don't want to lose Fred Warner. We don't want to lose Nick. You know, we got to play Javon. What if he blows up this year? We got a lot of good players on the offensive, defensive line. You have to keep, or no matter who you get under center, he's gonna get his butt handed to him, right? So yeah, I'm applauding that. And if you notice, Big Show came in here and made everybody mad. Except for me. I'm not taking sides on this yet. But your feeling on all these matters.
Oh, I just thought it was funny. He brought up that situation. I said, no, this man did. And I said, he just found a way to piss everybody off. Hey, I'm like you. I told you before, I honestly don't care. And of course, I would want Justin Fields, but like I said before, either way, I may not like the guy or like whatever quarterback is on this team. And, you know, I've openly said it. When the quarterback sucks, he sucks. I don't know. At this point, it's just see whatever quarterback you get, what you got. Because if you don't, a lot of us will let you know. And I'm about to be one of the first ones to get the hell this man out of here. So, you know, at this point, like I said, at this point, it's just all Shanahan. You know, it's but you know, put your money where your mouth is. If you really think Mac Jones is the guy, you better hope so, because they're gonna want your head. And they're gonna want you the hell out of here if he doesn't work out. If that's his quarterback.
And they know too. This is a pick that they have to get it right. But me though, like somebody just said a minute ago, Kyle has never really been crazy about running quarterbacks. Now he's saying that in the press conferences. No, but he's adding that little zinger at the end. I don't have a problem with mobile quarterbacks, but I do want him to have I want him to be a pocket passer first and then a runner, right?
You know what? I think his whole thing is, because I mean, think about it. He was around the team when Steve Young was there, so not like he doesn't know what it's about. And of course, you know everybody likes it, but it's just you got to learn how to play the. I don't care who you are. You have to learn how to play the pocket. You don't have to make it seem like your number one option is to run, but you have to learn how to play the pocket. Most of the quarterbacks do, like you said before. Mahomes, Wilson, they all know how to play the pocket.
Really well.
If you don't, you're just going to run all the time, and it's just going to horrible.
Yeah.
You already had that. We had that in Kaepernick. I mean, yeah, it's great and all, but, dude, you don't know how to play the pocket. You're not going to get very far.
Yeah. Because you're going to figure out to run.
You're just not.
Because we shut Wilson down, or Kyler Murray down. In that second game, I was shocked, Emilio. They damn near killed his little ass. And I couldn't believe it. I says, man, 49ers, they came up with a plan for Kyler. And that goes for any mobile quarterback in the NFL. Even Lamar.
No,
people are starting to smack him around a lot, too. So, you know.
Yeah, like, you think about it. It's like when Vic came in the league. Oh, man, it was the best thing ever. But once they really got figured it out, where did he really go? His career really ended because of the whole dog situation. But after that, he didn't really get too much get back. And if it wasn't for, was it Andy Reid that brought his career back? Other than that, he would have just fell apart.
That's it.
So you have to learn how to play.
Defenses will figure that.
You just have to learn how to play the pocket.
Yep. That's first
like
and foremost.
It's a bonus when you can run.
Yeah, that's a plus.
Yeah.
But you better be a pocket quarterback. Steve Young was that, and that's why he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he was that. And Bill Walsh told him, he said, dude, you want to be great, you have to learn the pocket. So you have, no matter what you do, even if you can't run, and that's one ability you have, it's always a plus. You have to learn how to play the pocket, no matter what you do.
Yeah, because
if you can't do that, you're not going to have a very long career.
Yeah, because we're not worrying you escaping pressure when the line breaks down or anything. And I want that ball gone before you even get under pressure, number one. And number two, we'll design run plays. But if you're out there running around, that means you probably missed somebody that was wide open. That's the way they think, you know? So, yeah, you got to be careful with that.
Yeah, and then you also think about it. It's like with Tom Brady, you look at it, he has great pocket awareness. He can move around. So that's another thing. If you're going to be a pocket quarterback, you got to know when to move up in the pocket, where to move back, where to move to the side. You can do that way too, but.
Or doing Aaron Rodgers.
Like I said.
Emil, Aaron Rodgers, that's why they're saying he could be the greatest quarterback of all time. Rodgers will take off and sprint on your ass too. But Aaron, that receiver who's open, he's getting the ball. See, that's what makes Rodgers so tough.
Well, that's why I said I'm not too much of a Rodgers fan. He is a good quarterback, but I'm like, he knows when to run when he needs to. So, like I said, with all these quarterbacks out here, the ones that are great, some know how to run. So you got to look at it. They all can run, and they all can play the pocket. You look at Josh Allen. He knows how to run when he needs to play the pocket. So that's what I say. I don't really like Lamar. Lamar is just he reminds me too much of Kaepernick.
I don't like when he throws the ball. It just doesn't look. You know what? Here's the thing. Rodgers, remember how many times the 49ers got to him, though? See, that's why I'm saying he was still waiting for that receiver to break or something. And he was mad as hell because of the scheme, and his receivers were lagging. Because, you got to be able to pocket quarterback first. So we'll see what happens. I'm ready.
Yeah,
if they say Mac
Jim,
Jones,
my whole thing, I just think I would like Jimmy a little better if he was able to run. I mean, he was running. He kind of fell behind after he got that ACL, his knee. But then it's just if he can run when he needs to, I think Jimmy would be fine. But it's just you can tell Shanahan wants a guy that can run when he needs to, not the first thing to do, the want to do.
We got to go, and I'm gonna see you Wednesday.
All right.
Since you become a regular, I love it. Night, Emilio.
All right, later.
All right, fam. Emilio, even while he's at work tonight, Emilio's got a quiet spot and everything. I tell you, Emilio's in charge over there now. Hey, Vams.
Hey, what's up, Ronbo?
Vams, man, we're looking at the full body of work so far by Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, and we're also spotlighting.
I think I need.
I'm sorry. Say again. You need what?
Ronbo, I think we need to clear some misconceptions.
Okay, go ahead.
The Shanahans don't value processing and accuracy and pocket presence first. And foremost. Yep. The thing they value is taking snaps under center, having serious arm talent, and having the ability to run boot actions and play actions and run boots. Mike Shanahan traded up for Jay Cutler. Shanahan wanted Josh Allen. Both are wildly inaccurate guys. Shanahan wanted C.J. Beathard. And none of those guys were lauded for their accuracy. What the Shanahans want is Shanahans don't like running quarterbacks, but they need quarterbacks to have legs because they don't run a statue offense. They always get the quarterback on the move. They always have the guy rolling out. And when Mike Shanahan got there, what was Steve Young? He had no pocket presence. He was just running around playing backyard football. The Shanahans value arm talent and the ability to move within the pocket and roll out outside of the pocket. I'm telling you.
I agree.
But Mike Shanahan traded up for Jay Cutler. Did Jay Cutler have some serious pocket presence or serious accuracy? No. They value arm talent. They 100% do. They value arm talent and the ability to run boot action and take snaps under center. And that's why
that means
Big Show is wrong.
So are you putting your money on Trey Lance or Mac Jones? Because it sounds like Justin Fields would probably be the antis. I can't see Shanahan being in love with this guy.
He's closer to the Shanahan mold than Mac Jones is. Because he does rollouts. Shanahans like guys that can throw on the move. They don't like guys to take off, but they like guys who have legs that can move around.
And
they don't run the Patriots offense where the guy's a statue. They have the guys moving. They have the guys on boot actions.
But looking at Ohio State and what they do, it's harder to derive the talents of that quarterback from what they're doing in Ohio State, which to me is the most silliest offense there is. So, it's...
No, they run the Chiefs offense. The Ohio State offense is exactly the Chiefs offense. Cut and paste.
Yeah, but the Chiefs, when you got Tyreek Hill...
literally exactly the same.
I know. What do they call that offense? Anyway, with Tyreek Hill...
It's called the Star Wars offense.
Yes, yeah. You know what? You need to have Tyreek Hill hardened. That's why they only got speed demons in that offense.
Exactly. The thing is, the the Shanahans won't draft Mac Jones because he doesn't have the arm talent. Every single guy the Shanahan works with that has zip on the ball. They don't really even care too much about accuracy. He wanted Josh Allen, and Josh Allen never completed more than 60% of his passes in college.
That's true.
What's the point? If Josh Allen
He's
has
gotten better
good
now.
pocket presence in college, no, but in college, Shanahan wanted to draft him.
Well, but Mac, Trey Lance also. You talk about arm talent. He's got a cannon.
No, I agree. It's Trey Lance or Fields. And one more thing about that clip that he posted, Mac Jones is so smart. He is not smarter than Fields, and he is not smarter than Lance. It's a media concoction that he's so much smarter than everyone else. Lance and Fields are geniuses. They're both geniuses.
I derived that he was rattling
It's a
off.
Racial thing. It's a racial thing.
I try not to go there, but I just
It
decided
is. They used to say straight up. They used to say straight up. Yeah, the black guy can't. He can't think
can't
fast
process,
enough.
and
Now they use more. They use the word processing now. Mac Jones is the dumbest out of the five. Let's be clear. He is not smarter than anyone in the first round. And Ronbo, could I ask you one question?
Go ahead.
Have you ever seen anyone as unathletic as Mac Jones go in the top 10? When was the last time?
Well, no, I guess.
One time. Can you name one guy who's as unathletic as Mac Jones who went in the top 10?
Well, Jared Goff is not what you call a
But
real
he had
athlete.
serious arm talent, though.
Yeah.
He had serious arm talent.
I need to think about that. You're right, though. You know what? No. Mac Jones,
It's
I'm
Blaine-
not seeing
maybe it
enough
was
of Mac
Blaine
Jones other than
Gabbert.
his highlight. Blaine? Yeah.
Who's that unathletic who went in the top 10? Just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Even Kirk Cousins had some pretty solid arm talent. Mac Jones, it's not
Kirk
about the
can throw.
mobility. It's not
Yeah.
the mobility. It's the arm talent.
Yeah.
Shanahan's value arm talent. They drafted Jay Cutler. They wanted Josh Allen. They liked CJ just for his arm talent and his ability to run boot action. CJ didn't have pocket presence in college. CJ didn't process things in college.
But you know what he liked about Bettcher, though? One thing we have to say
Arm
about
talent
CJ.
and toughness.
Yeah, because CJ had one of the nicest deep throws, maybe in the NFL.
Exactly.
We've never had the
the Shanahan's
receivers that we
value
needed
arm
for this.
talent.
Yeah, so you're right about that.
Exactly. Shanahan's value arm talent, and Mac Jones just doesn't clear the arm bar. He just can't throw with enough velocity for the ball to get there.
Well, he did look pretty good, though, in a few games at Bama. Well, you know what?
But look at Matt Ryan. Even Matt Ryan could throw it all over the yard. He has arm talent.
Yeah.
Josh Allen has arm talent. All Jay Cutler has is arm talent, and that's what got him drafted.
You might be right. So many writers do think it's the Jones boy. We'll see.
Exactly. The Shanahans have never had a guy as weak of an arm as Jones.
There you
It
go.
doesn't happen.
All right.
Arm talent. It disqualifies him.
Bams, we're gonna go. If you get a chance, get on back
All
here
right.
Wednesday. Let's talk some more. All right.
All right. Sounds good, Ronbo.
All right, Bam. Night. Good. See where we are here. Hey, Lee, come on in. Lee. See what Lee's got for his background today. It's always fun. There he is. He's got Black Zeus up in a 49er uniform again. Well, Lee, I'm glad you called for the reason that Big Show put on that clip. And also, Lee, before you go to work on Big Show and his clip, you probably realize this already, too. The 49ers are not as angry at Jimmy G as they are trying to figure out what to do next with the future. So address that and how you see that with the monies involved for some of the players we have to sign in the near future, with the fact that some of your Super Bowl quarterbacks have all been still on rookie contracts. That's how you build a team, more so than we hate Jimmy. So, Lee, what are you thinking?
The 49ers, Shanny and John Lynch. So what should they do with that third pick? Well, it's smart that they're going. I think you mentioned it right there. Third pick. You don't move up to the third pick to grab a guy, and no disrespect to Mac Jones, but Mac Jones is not a transcendent player. Mac Jones is going to be a very good quarterback in the NFL, but you don't move all the way up there. You move all the way up there for a guy like Justin Fields. Justin Fields.
Black Zeus, baby.
Literally
So I guess that answers that question. Well, they've attached the two at the hip is very bizarre. All these analysts, not just a few, but 90% of them really think it's the Jones dude.
I got you again, Ronbo. You ready?
Yeah. Well,
and I think personally it's Justin Fields. That's what I think. I don't think it's because I've had any conversations with Kyle or anybody. I haven't. And believe me, they'll keep that thing close to the vest.
Yeah.
But I personally go, Justin Fields could be a Deshaun Watson type player, or maybe a Pat Mahomes type player, or maybe a Russell. I actually see him as a Russell Wilson. I don't know how you guys do.
Rombo, that's someone that knows Kyle Shanahan very close. That's Sage Rosenthal. He's played for Kyle. He works at his quarterback collective, He knows Kyle just as well as probably a guy like Chris Sims.
Chris Sims.
And the thing with Chris Sims is you can't take what he says as truth, because he tried to throw people off last year, and he didn't name Ayuk, as one of the his top receivers, because he knew Kyle liked him. And if he's smart, and he could have easily said to him, right, Rombo?
Yeah, but
he could have said to Kyle,
You know what Kyle said about Chris, though? You saw that interview, though, right? He says he never talks to Chris about this kind of things because he knows Chris is going to go tell everybody. That was just a recent interview I saw him. I couldn't stop laughing because everybody wondered about that. Now it's true. Kyle never divulges sensitive information to Chris because he knows that's what Chris's job is. And he knows better than to get into that conversation with him. So whenever Chris says anything, you got to be careful.
But check this out, Rombo. He purposely didn't say he liked Ayuk because he knew Kyle liked him, right? Mm-hmm. How did he knew that Kyle liked him if Kyle never talks to him? Yeah. Second of all, listen to this, Rombo. How do you know Kyle didn't have a word to him and go, hey, Chris, we want that Justin Fields kids. I want you to pump up Wilson and Mac Jones in your draft and put them high in your rankings so people think that's who we're going to pick, because that's exactly what happened, right, Rombo?
Yeah, well, it could be. And if for no other reason, they help Sims out with his show, since they're good buddies.
Exactly. And they're not just friends, they're real close friends. They're like as close as you get. They got each other's initials tattooed on them, Robert. And that's the thing, even nobody was talking about Mac Jones. And then all of a sudden, we make the trade. And before that, Sims comes out and goes, oh, yeah, I've got Mac Jones third and I've got Justin Fields fifth on my board. You know what I mean? That's actually really smart if they did that, because that throws everyone off and makes us think, oh, we're going to go Mac Jones, the guy that most teams don't even want to pick in the top 10. Yet everyone in the Niners is like, oh, we're getting Mac Jones because that's what Kyle likes. Kyle even said in his press, if you can get the athletic quarterback, the guy with the higher talent, the guy that can play from inside the pocket and out, that's who you go for. And I think sometimes people overthink it. I heard
you got to get a lot of that
earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's common sense. You've got the chance at getting a phenom, a superstar. Rombo, do you give up 4 picks, a first round this year plus 2 future firsts and a third round next year for a guy that might be another Jimmy G or slightly better than Jimmy G? Do you give that all up for McCorkle Jones? Because that doesn't make any sense to me. If you look at scouts, you look at guys that have played the position quarterback, just about all of them are saying it's Justin Fields. You don't swing for the fences, Rombo, and hit an RBI. You try and hit a home effing run. And that's why, to me, it's Justin Fields, or, the dark horse was probably Trey Lance, But the thing is, look at the finals this year, Rombo, the NFC and the AFC Championship. You know what all those teams had?
What?
An elite quarterback. Josh Allen, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes. These are all elites. These are top of the tier quarterbacks. And Cole even said it too, it's very hard to win in this league if you don't have one of those elite quarterbacks. You can't tell me McCorkle Jones is elite because nobody even thinks he has a good upside. He's just a good steady Eddie, and you ain't giving up the future for steady Eddie, Rombo. Let's.
You think? I just wonder if Kyle is seeing that guy the same way as everybody else.
Well, Rombo, Sage Rosenthal's worked with Kyle with Justin Fields, and even he just said in that clip I played just before,
Well, yeah,
Justin Fields is
that's
the
right.
guy you take. If you want to go watch a good interview, go watch the interview he did with PFF because he doesn't usually do interviews like that. And he was saying straight away, yeah, like to him it's Justin Fields. And me, Rombo, I said to you a long time ago when I wasn't even thinking about quarterbacks and before we made the trade that if you're gonna move up for someone, you go after Justin Fields. And the reason is, I'm a big BPA guy. You go after the most talented guy at that position, and that's the thing. Like he's the most talented guy. He's the fastest. He's the smartest. People were saying, "Oh, he's not smart." That guy's top 1% out of nearly 7,000 athletes. That guy's got a rocket for an arm, and he's accurate. There's no one else with a rocket arm that's that accurate. You get guys with rocket arms, but they don't have the accuracy of him that can play from the pocket first. They're all athletes that can run first. You look at guys like Kaepernick, guys like Lamar Jackson. These guys weren't great pocket passers. They relied on their legs. Guys like Cam Newton. And when I look at Trey Lance, I see a poor man's Cam Newton, Rombo, because Trey Lance did it in a way weaker conference than what Cam Newton did, and Cam Newton won a national championship. And now you go look at the Patriots; they don't want Cam Newton, Rombo. He's a bust. His career is over. He's been there, done that. And if you get a guy like Trey Lance, teams are going to stack the box to stop an outside zone run, and they're going to shut Trey Lance down. You need a guy that can throw from the pocket and that's accurate. And it's Black Zeus, baby. Black Zeus.
The league's got to be one of his agents. Lee, we got to go. Good stuff, though.
No worries, Ronbo.
as
Shout out. I
usual.
love Monday Night Raw. Thank you very much. Go
Thank
Niners.
you, Lee.
Black Zeus.
Always. You got to love him. Oh, God. So, fam, and Lee brings up the show's encore tonight. And fam, please don't forget to hit that like. My feelings get hurt when I don't get likes. And I tell you what, I can't wait until we get back together on Wednesday. God knows what's going to develop on this particular week. Have a great night. Dream red and gold, baby. Super Bowl bound, baby.